Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to another live stream. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday weekend. Let me know if my mic sounds
Hi,
okay.
it's okay. I'm here because I want to tell you about my new favorite.
Sorry about that. I'm checking it on my end, y'all, to make sure it's good. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday weekend. Okay, it sounds good on my end. How does it sound on your end? Hey, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming. I was a little worried. I was like, I wonder if anybody's going to be here. But then I thought, I was like, okay, well, I know a lot of the girlies don't have to work tomorrow. So maybe like, because I was going to go live tomorrow. And then I was like, I don't know. But either way, if you're not here live, you can always watch the replay. You said the mic is low? Is the mic low for everybody? Or just one person? Let me check the mic on my end. It sounds good to me. I don't want a situation where it was too loud like that one time. And just make sure. Okay, most of the people are saying no. Yes, it's all the way up on my end. I don't want to turn it up like the actual mic up too loud because then that's how it got messed up the last time. But yeah, so I want to talk about some more trending topics that I didn't get to cover because I was on an impromptu vacation, okay? But I want to talk about some topics that were sent to my inbox, and we'll start with the most recent. And then, after I'm done, you guys can like throw in topics you want to cover, and we'll talk about those. But let's start with the most recent one, which is this coffee date debate. Okay, y'all. I don't know if it's just me, but is anyone else tired of these coffee date videos going viral? Like, I thought we were past this conversation. This conversation come up every 6 months, it feels like. And it's like, this is why I get so tired of doing YouTube, y'all. This is one of the reasons, is because it's like all the conversations are circular. And it's like we're just going in circles, around in circles. And it's like, okay, what are we accomplishing? Yeah, it's such a non-issue. I agree. But there are some things that I want to talk about that, I think is important for us to cover. So let's go ahead and play the video, and you guys let me know if you can hear it.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Could you guys hear that? I can hear it on my end. Let me know if you heard it. So that was the video. This woman has gotten a ton of pushback. Like an abnormal amount of pushback, in my opinion. And I see a lot of people saying, oh well, you're lucky a man is even asking you on a date because you're fat and ugly. Like, it's just the reaction to this is off the chain. Like, and let me start off by saying this, okay? I don't think everybody's wrong in their reaction. Let me just start off by saying that, okay? I do think that we as women should be realistic about our dating options. I do believe that we as women should be aware of how we are perceived physically. And also what kind of men our looks will typically attract to us. I've talked about in the past knowing where you quote unquote rank. And I think it's very important that women know where we rank, not just because, what kind of men we're typically able to attract, but just so that we don't put ourselves out there like this and be surprised at the reaction. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, girl, did you mean to get dragged like this? Did you intentionally walk into this? Like, did you not know that they was gonna come for you? and say everything that they're saying. Did you not know that? Because girl. Yeah, why is it so hard to move in silence? Exactly. Like, why do we have to announce everything? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I just don't believe in women, and especially black women. I don't believe in us embarrassing ourselves like that. Like, I just don't believe in us doing that. I would rather us move in silence, you know? That's just me, okay? But like I said before on this topic, I see unattractive fat women at Ruth Chris, Fogo de Chao, Capitol Grill, insert steakhouse in the blank. Like, I see unattractive fat women at those places all the time with their husbands and their boyfriends. That's why I just don't think it's that deep. Okay? And I be seeing men pay the bill, because I know the next thing is gonna be like, oh, well, how do you know the women aren't paying the bill? It looks like to me that the men are paying. Okay? I've been to luxury places in big cities, small cities, and it's not only supermodels and perfect tens in those places. Okay? And I just have to say this, but you can tell who hasn't been anywhere when we have these conversations, because y'all really think that it's only baddies in 5-star restaurants and in luxury environments. I mean, is that the conversation we're really having here? Y'all ain't seen a fat woman that looked kind of like her at a steakhouse before? At Fogo de Chao at the salad bar? Y'all ain't never seen that before. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, girl. Because I keep hearing people say, oh, well, that woman, she's not pretty enough. She ain't even cute. And all she deserves is a coffee date. And then people will be like, oh, well, the women who announced that they refused a coffee date are only showing that they don't get many offers for dates. But y'all are showing your lack of experience too, because you think that women on her level of attractiveness have never been in a nice steakhouse. Like, that's actually showing your inexperience. Am I right? Or am I tripping? You know that all baddies wasn't in these places 24/7 if you went to them frequently and you saw the people in there. Not just once a year for Valentine's Day. No. Not just once a year for your birthday, because that's the only time your man can afford it. I'm talking about frequently. Like, just on a random Tuesday. You feel, you feel me? Just a random Tuesday, and you and your man is just like, let's go to Fogo de Chao because I like the salad bar. And I know, because me and my man, we like the salad bar at Fogo de Chao. That's the best thing they have there, in my opinion. If we just be pulling up on a random Tuesday, like, okay, let's just go to the salad bar real quick. Let's just get some salad bar food. I don't like all that meat they pass around. I don't know about y'all, but Fogo de Chao is not one of my favorite places, but I do love the salad bar. And so it's like, you mean to tell me you be pulling up on a random Tuesday and you don't see a woman who looks like her ever? Ever? White or black? White or black? And then you got women on TikTok saying, oh, well, there are rich men who accept cheap dates. Okay, and that usually comes after being wined and dined. The way y'all are acting like most women who have money, or most women who come from money, they just don't care about money because they have it and they're used to it. That's not true. Again, are you around these people or are you just talking? Like, the way y'all, they be like, yeah, and women who come from money, they don't care about rich men because they used to having nice things. Okay, well then why do those women usually date and marry men in their same socioeconomic class? If they don't care about money. And see, it's wild because one minute y'all will say, oh, well, hypergamy is unrealistic because most rich men marry within their class. And the next minute you're saying, oh, well, rich women don't care about a man's money and aren't impressed by it. Which one is it? See, that's why broke people don't need to have, like, I feel like broke people don't need to have upper class conversations. even middle upper class, because that's the class I'm in. I'm middle upper class. I feel like a lot of y'all don't need to be having these conversations. I'm not saying I'm the richest person in the world. I'm not. But y'all don't be saying, y'all say stuff that don't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Y'all say stuff that don't make sense. And it's like you can kind of tell that you haven't been in those environments. And that's okay. But like, stop talking for people who have money, because you're not making sense. Women who have money, who come from money, high earning women, high value women, they typically marry rich other, men of their socioeconomic status, okay? And they socialize with those people as well. Y'all think that Becca Bloom lady on TikTok, which by the way, I love her. Becca Bloom, I don't know if y'all know who she is. She's I think she's Chinese. Chinese filthy rich lady. You can tell she's wealthy. She's not rich, she's wealthy, okay? I follow all the luxury girlies of all races on TikTok. I love them all. But like, do y'all think that she's gonna marry a broke man? Like, come on. Like, what y'all are saying does not even make sense. Let me fix my internet before it goes out. My internet been acting weird. Yeah, so some people know who Becca Bloom is. Yeah, she's that girl. I like her content. But yeah, what y'all are saying does not make sense. Now, I do agree that poor people, working class people, middle class people, we may actually like outwardly talk about money more, but to act like it's only women who don't come from money prioritizing finances when it comes to men and when it comes to choosing partners, it shows me that y'all don't be around high earning, hypergamous women like that. It's actually poor people who prioritize love and character over money more than anyone. That's actually a poor people thing. It's mostly poor women who marry for love. Okay? It's not usually the people with a lot of money. And I can promise you that. Me, I prioritize money and character when it comes to the men I date. And any woman with a significant amount to lose financially does the same thing. We not gonna be fucking around. Namende, is that how you say your name? Met my now great boyfriend of almost a year at a run club. Congratulations. Or our first date was yoga/coffee. Second was NYE party. Third was paint and sip. He's a sweet engineer. We even won a diamond from a jeweler at a raffle. Okay, great. Great. That's great. Sometimes coffee dates work out. Sometimes they don't. And I don't think women should be fighting over coffee dates. Like, and who, what woman gets what from what kind of date. If a woman doesn't accept a coffee date, that should be okay, you guys. Yeah, and thanks for the super chat. But yeah, they're mad that she's plus size too. That's another thing. That is another issue that they have. But I think pretty women, because the last time we talked about this, it was actually, conventionally attractive women going viral for the same thing. So it doesn't really matter what a woman looks like. They're all going to be mad about this. I did a video before on this, and very pretty black women saying the same thing. They got the same exact pushback. And black women especially get a lot of pushback when we announce our standards. Which is why I will say again, I personally think we should move in silence, show our standards with our actions instead of our words. I just don't see what black women get out of this. I don't see what black women get out of going on TikTok and being like, yeah, I I don't accept coffee dates. Like, I don't see what we get out of this, because all you're going to get is people attacking you. They're going to attack your looks. They're going to attack your personality. They're going to put words in your mouth and say you said things that you never said. And they're going to attack the collective of Black women. This happens every single time a Black woman or a mixed with Black woman announces her standards. Y'all remember when Saweetie got that backlash? I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something about how she didn't want a man if he didn't buy her a Birkin. B. Simone, she also got backlash for saying she didn't want a man who worked 9 to 5. And I'm sure there are other examples you guys can remind me of in the chat. So, you know, it doesn't really matter what a woman looks like. If a woman, and especially a Black woman, is saying that she wants more than what the average or below average Black man can offer, or are willing to offer a Black woman, then all of the low standard having women who date them, they're always going to have a problem with it. And the men, of course, are going to have a problem with it. But the women who date them are always also going to have a problem. Like I said about Just Hilarious in my last video when she was going after Nicolandria, Black women can't see beyond their own standards. So if they accept a certain thing from men, or the bare minimum, or low effort, then they expect you to accept that too. And I think a lot of people are projecting their own biases on this lady and making a lot of assumptions, because based on what she said in her other videos, it's not even that she's wants a super expensive date. Now, we talked about this before. Like, sometimes it's more so about wanting a more thoughtful, well-planned outing. That doesn't automatically mean it has to cost a lot of money. Yeah, Ebony K. Williams, that was another one. Yep. And look, I also understand the women who prefer coffee dates, because the other side of that argument is women are saying, oh, well, we want to leave quickly if we decide that we don't like the guy. Now, me personally, I prefer getting the getting to know stage. I prefer that to be over like FaceTime. Let's video call each other. Let me see your surroundings, you know. Let's talk face to face on FaceTime. Or some other video chat, whatever. Let's see if we vibe, you know. And then I like to go on a nice date. I don't use a coffee date or a cheap date or a quick date to get to know somebody. I like to do that over the phone. That's just my preference. And I also don't drink coffee anymore because my body doesn't like it that much. My body doesn't like caffeine. I start like getting spasms in my eye. It makes my nerves bad. Like, so coffee isn't a good option for me for that reason as well. So, you know, to each his own. Every woman has different reasons why they don't accept coffee dates. What if we don't like coffee? Then what? Then what are y'all gonna shame women for? And like I said earlier, I think we as women should respect other women's preferences regardless of if they're identical to our own or not. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And that was another thing I kind of wanted to like touch on too, because it's like, y'all know you don't have to go on a coffee date to get to know a man. Like, what happened to talking on the phone? Y'all don't do that no more? Y'all don't FaceTime no more? So y'all act like that's the only way to be like, oh, well, what if I need to get away? Girl, even if I'm on a long date and I want to leave, I'm leaving. Okay, oh, I got a text from my mama. I gotta go. Something like, you don't have to stay there. So yeah, it's like, I don't think like this is an issue to where it needs to keep going viral over and over like this. I think it's stupid. And you know what's interesting to me? Black men announce their preferences all the time. Like, Black men will come online. They'll talk about how they don't date dark-skinned women. They don't date fat women. They don't date women who are average at best. They say this all the time. And what are Black women told? We are frequently told to get over it because it's just their preference. Black women, you need to ignore them because Everybody's not gonna like you. You guys want everybody to like you. Think about all the stuff we hear when black women respond to the black men's preference. But as soon as a black woman announces her preference, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. It's like, okay, well, what happened to it's just a preference? What happened to, oh, get over it. No, not everybody has to like you or want what you have to offer. Why doesn't that same logic apply here? Oh, we know why it doesn't apply. Because it's a woman. It's a black woman. And she got the nerve to be fat and conventionally unattractive too. Oh, she shouldn't be asking for nothing. And that's all the more reason why I feel like, okay, well, that same logic should apply. If she's conventionally unattractive and she's fat, why does it matter? Why does it matter that she's coming online saying that she doesn't like coffee dates? It's her preference. And you don't even want her anyway. So it's like, why aren't we using the same logic that we use with the men? So let's get into one of these responses that I saw on TikTok. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
It be the black women who know that they have limited options with men that always want to try to make a man look like shit. Like, bitch, you are overweight and you're a solid 3. The audacity of you. Now, we all know that lady who went viral about talking about some man invited her on a coffee date and she told him no, and she went to go get her a fucking sandwich, a fucking soup, and a croissant, and a Dr. Pepper. Bitch, you lucky you got asked out on a date. Chivalry is dead nowadays. And bitch, you really gonna try to make this man look crazy for asking you on a coffee date because you don't like coffee? Bitch, clearly you like everything that's unhealthy for your ass.
Did she say his name? Did I miss a video? Did the woman say his name? Did she embarrass him? Did we find out who the man was? Yeah, this is my first time ever seeing this chick. Y'all sent it to me, and I heard it. I was like, oh, wow. And, I know black men are probably eating this up. I don't know. I haven't looked at, the comments or anything like that. But it's like any other time, this girl will be masculine. She will be loud. She will be ghetto. But, of course, since she's defending the black man, fit, feminine, and friendly goes out the window, right? Because she defending the black man, right? That goes out the window. And then why is she so aggressive? It makes you this angry that a woman come over here and she's like, I don't want a coffee date. Why are you this angry? And this is how I know it's not just about the coffee date. You are offended because you're offended on behalf of black men. Yeah, she's very, very male identified. And, it's a shame. You're right. And then one of the ladies, I did read one of the comments, and she was like, young man, why are you yelling at us? This is what I'm saying. Any other time, she would be masculine. People would probably be calling her a stud. Because honestly, when at first glance, she looked like a stud to me. I was like, oh, is this one of those things where a stud is jumping in the conversation and defending men? No, she's not a stud. She's just masculine. So let's continue.
And I'm going to touch on every aspect of the situation because y'all got me fucked up and I'm vexed. And y'all know me. I'm quick to call everybody out on their shit and I don't give a fuck because you can't whoop me. But bitch, your hungry ass should have just said that you was hungry. But no, your big, insecure, overweight ass decided to sit your phone down while your fat ass was eating and press record and talking about how the man was asking you on a coffee date and you politely told him no. And then everybody over here defending you talking about, oh, well, she been told him that she didn't like coffee and he kept asking her to go on coffee dates. Okay, you be the same bitches that don't want to be talked to in the store. But yeah, you talking to niggas that you know that ain't giving you the conversation that you want. And then you want to complain. What sense do that make?
Girl, she is raging. And I don't know who this woman is. Does anybody know is she a baby mama? Why is she so angry? Yeah, why is she so emotional? I'm trying to figure somebody need to find that man and get him to take her on a coffee date. Because what is going on? Why are you this upset? Oh, she's a baby mama. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if she a baby mom, that usually explains it all. See, you can't be this angry if your situation is not fucked up. Her baby daddy probably didn't take her on her coffee date. Let's just be honest, because we know what y'all are getting out here, okay? That's another thing that's kind of getting on my nerves in this conversation, because y'all are like, y'all act like y'all ain't been anywhere, and I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, why did he gotta take me to Ruth Chris? It ain't that deep, you know, because if you used to nice shit, we know what y'all getting. We see your baby daddies. We see them. We see what y'all complain about. We know we know it's not that. So y'all need to stop capping on this internet. Shannon said, in this instance, it's like when Iyanla was trying to shame Ebony K. Williams, who's now a judge, telling her to lower her standards to a bus driver. When Iyanla, you're on your third divorce because you lower your... Exactly. It's always the women who don't have standards. And then the women be like, because I date millionaires and I used to date... It's always what they used to date. Have you noticed that? It's always who they used to get. I remember back in the day when I got into a Miss Sprinkle, that was her comment. And you know, these women, they're just not used to dating millionaires. They're not used to... Okay, but did you marry one? Why your husband ain't a millionaire? Why you gotta come on here and be on live for 17 hours to make your money? But you coming to me talking about, and these women aren't used to dating millionaires. Bitch, are you? Do you have one now? Because I swear, if I were to say that, if I were to get on here and be like, yeah, and I used to date millionaires, y'all don't know what that's like. Y'all be like, okay, Chrissy, okay, but do you have one now, though? Like, that would be your first question. Did he give you a ring, though? And see, my man, he do got money, but he's not a millionaire. But you better believe if I'm going to be bragging about being with a millionaire, I'm going to have one right then and there. Otherwise, I'm not going to say anything. Because it's like, who did you marry, though? If you did not marry one, it doesn't count, sis. It does not count. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you. If you didn't marry a millionaire, it doesn't count that you used to date him. It does not count. I'm sorry, because I know that wouldn't fly with me. If I got up here and I said some shit like that, it wouldn't fly unless I married one. I'm just saying. So can we clock it, please? Can we clock it? This is crazy. Yeah, because some of y'all women, y'all getting beside yourself. You getting beside yourself. And this black woman here, she literally yelling at the camera, looking like a little boy, talking about this coffee date like it affected her personally. Calling people out her name, calling people out their name and stuff. Like, is it that serious? And see, that's what lets you know it's a projection. She's projecting. She said she probably gave her womb to the lowest bidder, and now she's mad because a woman who she feels is conventionally unattractive, less attractive than her, has the nerve to get on here and be like, I want more than that. I want better. And she's like, how dare you? How dare you? I sit here and I gave my womb to a bum. I'm sitting here dating bums. And then your big ass get on here talking about you don't do coffee dates. The audacity. Yeah, this is a you problem, sis. This ain't got nothing to do with her and everything to do with you. It's not that woman's fault that you gave your womb and your pussy to a bum. That's not her fault. And if it doesn't apply, because I don't know this girl, but it's something going on personally with her. She had to give her pussy to a bum, or is giving it to one now for her to be this upset about that. And I feel like I want to talk about this in another video, but like I kind of feel that way about a lot of these women who are either married or who have kids, especially by black men, and who get up on here and preach to women all day about what they need to be doing and how they need to be, you know, protecting men and protecting the black man. I'm convinced that married women like that, you're not happy in your marriage. You can't be. All the happily married women I know, they're not getting online, wagging their finger to other women, trying to tell them what to do. They're not doing that. They're not trying to push their lifestyle down their throats. I don't trust married women who do that. If they got entire pages, entire channels, entire TikTok pages dedicated to chastising black women and, you know, trying to get them right for black men, I don't trust them. They can't be happy in their marriage. I don't care what nobody say. You can't be happy. There's no way. Yeah, I wasn't trying to throw shade to Sprinkle. I agree with a lot of what she says too. But you know, we had our little issue back in the day. It's no beef. Like, I don't be worried about her like that. It's no beef. But I'm just saying, she's not with a millionaire, and you know, she's not. And I remember that was one of her talking points back in the day. To me. She was like yeah, cause I used to date millionaires and these girls never date. I'm like, okay, where is he now though? Do you have one now? That matters. That does matter if you're gonna brag about that, you guys. I mean, unbeknownst to me, back in the day, I got hit on by an NFL player, one of them big burly NFL player motherfuckers. I didn't know who he was. I really didn't. But like, cause I don't watch football or whatever. But that's like me bragging about that. And we not together. Like I didn't end up dating him. I didn't end up with him. So why am I going to be like, oh yeah, and I got hit on by an NFL player. Like, who cares if we're not together, if we didn't make it? Lily, sweetie, I don't have a reason to lie. And see, I don't get caught up in trying to prove anything to y'all. So it really doesn't matter if you believe me or not, Bookie. I don't have to lie. And I can sit here and admit, like, no, I've never actually been official with a millionaire ever in my life. Most women haven't. Like, that, and it's not, you know, that's not embarrassing to say. Like, and that's sometimes I see in the comments, people will be like, oh, yeah, and I've dated several millionaires before. It's not all that, girl. Do you know how hard it is for most women to meet one millionaire? Like, to actually have one single millionaire hit on them? Like, come on, please. Y'all be capping. I'm sorry, you're capping, okay? Let's continue.
You bitches be your own fucking enemy. And it's plain as day. Now, would he have been wrong if he would have took her on a date to the goddamn gym? I don't think so. I think that's actually beneficial for her and him. The man clearly just wanted to get to know your ass by asking y'all for coffee. The fuck? You lucky you got asked out on a fucking date. You just ungrateful, bitch.
And see, that's the issue. They feel like women like that are ungrateful because you can see it in her face. Like, I'm miserable in my life. I'm so upset with my life. I'm so upset with how things turned out for me. And you have the nerve to complain? Like, after I done gone through all this, all my life I had to fight. And you complaining about this man asking you on a coffee date? You ungrateful bitch. This is all projection, you guys. And this is what a lot of black women do. That's why when I saw her video, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to talk about this. So let's continue. Y'all saying bros, man. I'm done.
Y'all be the same women that be like, oh, if he talked to me in a grocery store, he better offer to pay for my groceries, or what do we have to talk about? The men don't know you. Y'all be wanting men to do shit for y'all just because you got a coochie. Bitch, fuck you. And not only that, I saw somebody else stitch my homegirl video on this fucking topic, talking about, oh, I think we should take people's stories on TikTok with a grain of salt because people be telling stories just to get paid. So y'all exploiting yourselves and embarrassing yourselves and other people who may or may not exist for $1 that you may or may not get? Talking about you're a content creator? Oh yeah. The world is ending, y'all. These women don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know how to be women. That Willie...
The irony. The irony of her being like, they don't know how to be women. And you're yelling in the camera on TikTok, shaking the table, hitting the table. looking like a whole ass stud, and the nerve of you to be like, these women don't know how to be women. Do you? Girl, where is your man so he can calm you down? Like, cause I can't.
When shit did its motherfucking job, bro. All that shit that our ancestors had to go through back in the day for slavery and racism and all this shit, like, was for fucking nothing. Because look at...
Yep, there it is. She's pro-black. I really don't need to hear nothing else. I really don't need to hear nothing else. Like, I get it now. She's pro-black. She's, Hotep mammy. I get it. I was there once too. I was a mammy too once. I was Hotep too. So I understand where she's at in her life. I get it. Yeah, when you start bringing up the ancestors, and then I know. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to... That's kind of when I, like, zone out a little bit. Because I'm like, I'm so beyond that. Like, Umar Johnson shit. I'm so beyond that. It's like, I can barely listen to the shit. Like, So I don't have too much left in me. How long we got? Okay, we got a minute, and we'll go ahead and play the rest.
The shit that y'all choose to do, bro. You got black people making other black people look bad. This shit is sick. When do we get it together, bro? Cause calling y'all out of y'all shit, y'all making it seem like I'm doing something wrong. No, I'm trying to hold everybody accountable here. Because once we all take accountability, can't nobody take shit from us, bro. But bitches like that, and there are some men like that, but there's more women like that in this world. Because you bitches are just so fucking miserable. And then y'all sit here and make it seem like all black men act like that. No, because if all black men act like that, all black women act like that. And that's not true. Some of us really out here doing what it takes to be better.
Girl, and see, here's the problem I have with that statement. Like, girl, most black women are like you. Okay? That's why it's so much backlash. So, she's making it seem like, oh, this woman is making me look bad because they're going to think it's all black women. No, sis, everybody knows. Black men know that most of them is like you. Most of them is going to settle for less than a coffee date. They giving they wombs to niggas that offer them less than a cup of coffee. Most women are like you. Everybody knows that. Most black women are like you. You don't have nothing to worry about. Okay? The women who are saying, I don't accept coffee dates, whatever. We are in the minority. Okay? You don't have to worry about it. Black men know they could walk outside right now and get pussy for a Big Mac and some chicken nuggets. Black men already know that. Okay? You ain't got nothing to worry about. I promise.
People doing what it takes to really be at peace and be successful and be happy and love healthily. You know what I'm saying? Y'all weird as fuck, and that shit pisses me off. All of this shit up because he asked to take you on a coffee date.
And all of this because the woman got on here and said she refused to go on a coffee date. Does she not see herself? I feel like black women, a lot of y'all don't see yourselves. Like, girl, even if she did come on here dramatic, what do you think you're being right now? My goodness.
All of this because of a coffee date?
That's what I'm saying to you. All it is. This is crazy. Like, black women, y'all gotta stop giving pussy to these bums because this is how it makes y'all act.
He shouldn't have asked your ass to go nowhere. He shouldn't even spoke to your bitch ass. Y'all better be mindful who y'all be speaking to. I see why fellas don't talk to y'all. I see why they don't speak to y'all. That's why women like me shoot my shot. Because...
Oh, Lord. Not shoot your shot. So she approaching the niggas too? Oh, my God. Lord. Oh, I can't take this. Because I didn't listen to this whole thing when I first got it. I just... J. Ray says, speaking of Umar, wasn't he just on the internet pimping himself to black women? Donate $500 for a date with him. Where's the outrage for his high standards? Girl. And it's some mammies out there that are giving to him. She probably signing up right now. This girl right here probably sending out $500 so she can have dinner with Umar. It's bitches just like this. She said she shoot her shot. Girl, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Y'all ain't embarrassed about the right shit.
Bitches like y'all, they be shooting their shots and then y'all do shit like that. Like, I can't stand you bitches. Y'all, I'm allergic.
We over here, we're allergic to women like you too. We are.
I am literally deadly allergic to you bitches. Please stay the fuck away from my black men before I have to fuck y'all up.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Girl, she said my black men, her black men, the black kings. She said stay away from her black men. Girl, she told y'all. She told you. She told us, didn't she? She told us. Oh my God. You know, when I see stuff like that, you know, I think of like how I first came online and I was a pick me mammy male. Oh my God. I'm embarrassed. Like when I think back to that time, I am like so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed that I used to think like her. Oh. That's why, you know, when y'all come on here, y'all be talking shit and you just mad because you didn't get a black man. Girl, I came on here pro-black man. I came on here very similar to that bitch. Very similar to her. I didn't come on here mad at black men when I first came. Anybody who's been here since the beginning, you know that. I don't have no rejection wound from black men. Contrary to popular belief, I have a father in my life, a black father, a good black father who taught me how to have high standards. And taught me to practice hypergamy. He's the reason I'm like this. Okay? I have good black men in my family, all the things. So I didn't come on here like that. It wasn't until the niggas online start stalking me and I was like, oh, hell no. Y'all got me fucked up. Oh my God. Kaner says, yeah, we remember Chrissy. Yeah. It's embarrassing. Yeah. When I see women like that who remind me of my old self, oh, it's just so cringe. It's so embarrassing. And I just wish, I'd be like, oh my God, just help him. Help him, Lord. Oh, it's just a sad situation. Yeah, Simming says, if you cringe at your younger self, that just means you grew. Yeah, and I'm very happy that I grew from that. Because that's embarrassing. But I couldn't imagine like getting online and showing my face being that angry. Defending black men. Like, when have you seen, let me ask you guys something. When is the last time y'all saw a black man yelling about another black man coming online complaining about women that he can't get? Think about it. Like, do black men ever crash out like that over black women? Do you ever see it? Like, send me the TikTok. I've never seen a black man do that. Over something another black man said, over a standard that he had, that, you know, that he thought was unrealistic or whatever. And so that's a good segue into the next video, because I got my receipts, girl. So a lot of black women are bringing up this guy, and I'm seeing him. Oh, did I not put the picture in here? Oh, I didn't put the picture in here. Damn it. It's okay. I got the video. But a lot of black women and black men in general are bringing up this guy who I guess went viral on TikTok for saying that he was tired of being approached by ugly women. Apparently, he got roasted by black women. I didn't actually hear about him until this woman went viral for saying she didn't do coffee dates. But apparently, this guy, let me know. I'm gonna play the video and let me know if y'all have seen this.
Nothing is more worse than an ugly chick shooting her shot at you. And I know all my guys could definitely relate to this. Like, I'm telling y'all, we could be chilling, focus on ourselves, trying to improve ourselves in life, grinding. Then they just come along, the mid ones. I'm so serious. Like, it literally could be anywhere, especially the workplace. Oh, that'd be the worst fucking feeling, because you have to see that same girl every single day. So you already know she's gonna try to send smoke your way. Shooting her shot so many times. She'll give you those hints, those signals. It's crazy, bro. And it's like, girl, stop. I'm not feeling you. Can you get the hint? But at the same time, you're not trying to be an asshole or like a jackass about it. You're trying to be cool as much as possible. But she in her mind thinking like, you got something going on. But at the same time, we don't. But we all know it's a part of the game. They're going to be coming in, shooting their shot. You know what I'm saying? Being bold. Because if they like you enough, they're going to shoot their shot, bro. They're going to try to get what they can get. But always remember, if she's going, that doesn't mean you have to either. You have that option.
Okay, now I don't know about y'all. I have not. Well, okay. I obviously just now seeing it today and when it was sent to my inbox, but I never saw this video. Whereas the video of the woman was being pushed out everywhere. Like the woman talking about refusing coffee dates, that was pushed out everywhere. Some of y'all are saying you seen it. Others are saying that you didn't. And see, he's being compared to the woman who refused a coffee date. And you know, okay, if you want to compare them, I get why y'all are making the comparisons, right? It's, you know, a conventionally unattractive person coming online, you know, making their demands, right? But see, this is what women, and especially black women, need to understand. This shit is not equal. Okay? And I need you guys to listen to me clearly. Ugly, broke men are not penalized nearly as harshly when they get online and do shit like this, okay? This is why Kevin Samuels, all of his dusty incel fan base that y'all love to quote, but then call the women who you know, the female side of the coin, call them femcells, but then you're quoting Kevin Samuels. Okay? But Kevin Samuels had a group of dusty incels following him, dusty fan base. This is why they had the audacity to come online complaining and calling black women average at best. Why did they have the audacity to do that? Because men don't normally get clocked for shit like this, you guys. They don't. This is why, in my opinion, this video didn't go as viral as the other one. Because I would have seen it already. I saw that coffee date video everywhere. I didn't see this one everywhere. And so this is normal behavior for men. And so when women, like the woman who went viral, get online saying that they, you know, don't accept coffee dates and, you know, talking about what they don't accept. When women like this get online, I don't even care. Because niggas like this been doing it. And, you know, y'all are always talking about, oh, Christy, it's always black men do it too. Yeah, they do it too. And they do it to they do it worse. And they do it to the extent where it's a bunch of them all at the same time. I didn't see any man. Did you guys see any man like that girl who I just played yelling at this man like that on TikTok? If so, send me the video. I want to see it. Did y'all see the male version of this woman?
It be the black women who know that
Calling out him. And so when I tell you that this shit is not equal, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all remember when that Asian woman went viral for saying that all she sees is chopped men? And all in her comment section, they were like, ma'am, have you looked in a mirror? Type shit. That's why I don't care about shit like that. Because it's like, men do this way more than women. And they get away with it way more than women do. Y'all be following behind the men who do shit like that woman did. I should have put a picture of Kevin Samuels' ugly ass on here. Like, y'all really had that man. Gave him the audacity to come online and call a bunch of black women average at best. When he didn't have no money before the internet, he was not never been attractive. And look how many black women follow behind him and still are quoting him to this day. Still. Yet you want me to be mad at this woman for saying that she don't accept coffee dates? Y'all. Not when we have men like this with so much audacity and they never get called out by other men. We don't see a bunch of videos from women calling them out. We don't see it. Unless it's to compare to the woman. Then all of a sudden you want to call it out. But before the woman went viral, there wasn't no videos on this man. I didn't see him. Because I didn't even know this existed, y'all. I didn't even know he existed. So, y'all always bringing up the clip where Kevin, he told that fat dude that he needed to lose weight and get some money. Like, he was really roasting that dude. But that didn't nearly go as viral or go nearly as viral as the video he had calling that black woman average at best. It didn't. That shit went mainstream. That shit was a mainstream conversation. But then when the clip that they showed with the man, that didn't get mainstream attention. So it's not equal. Society, whether it be men or women, they're much harder on conventionally unattractive women who get online and they do this, who have high standards in the opposite sex, or they're not afraid to say it. They're way harder on them than they are men like this. And you cannot convince me otherwise. That's not really debatable. So for anybody trying to equalize the outrage, you're not being honest. It's not equal, and it's not equal. It's not. I don't care what y'all say. Why y'all roasting him like I can't. No, and see, I guarantee you that the same women who roasted that woman who for refusing a coffee date, they're probably mad at some of the comments roasting this guy. But no. You said it was okay, right? To roast ugly people who came online, making their demands and, announcing their high standards. Okay, so we can do it to him. It's fair game, right? Yeah. It will never be as equal. It never will be. Yep. And I agree with that, blank. I'm glad you said that. They said, because women are judged on looks, men are judged on assets and resources. Right. And so why did black women allow all of these broke men to come online and start talking about how they want women fit, friendly, and feminine? How come y'all allowed these non-resource having niggas, since that's what matters most with men, how come y'all allowed them to get online? Because y'all can try to, say that Kevin Samuels was for, high value men and that's who his platform was for. No, it was not. It was for low value men, and it was to tell women that they don't deserve high value men. That's what it was for. Because most of his followers were not high value. They weren't. They were not high earning. They were not high value. So my thing is, if what you're saying is true, which I agree with you, but if men are judged by their resources and women are judged on their looks, why do y'all let broke black men who have no resources get away with all the shit they get away with? I don't feel like women, or black women in general, I don't feel like we judge men based on that like we should. I don't. And that's why y'all be having meltdowns when women actually do prioritize a man's finances, because that's something we don't normally do in this community. And so while blank is correct in saying that, yeah, women get it harder because we're judged by our looks. Okay, so that means we need to go just as hard on men who have no money. If that's the logic we're going by, if that's where, okay, well, it's just like that because women are judged by their looks. Okay, well, then we need to start judging these niggas harder then. Because they don't have any money. They don't have enough money. And so let's start judging them as harshly as they judge us, but for their finances. It should be fair game. If that's the logic we're going by, then none of these women or men should be mad about women being hypergamous or wanting to be hypergamous. I shouldn't hear no fucking complaint about that. Blackpink says they won't pay a sex worker. Stop conning regular chicks who want love from a provider. Yeah, I agree with that. Girl, they are the reason why these sex workers stay in business. All these OF girls. Y'all paying them more than the price of a coffee date every month so you can get your rocks off. So I'm not buying it. I don't feel bad for any of these men. And the fact that the outrage is so unequal is why I will never be outraged by a black woman coming online saying that she doesn't do coffee dates. I don't care what she looks like. Because y'all have allowed men who look like this to run the community. Because please believe, if Kevin Samuels was still alive, he would still be on top, and niggas like this would be following him, and y'all would still be clapping for them. Y'all as black women would still be going on their platforms. So no, I'm not going to be outraged by this. Like, I don't have anything to be outraged about. I don't care. She doesn't do coffee dates. I don't care. That's her preference. Next. Next. Now, if we want to have another conversation on another day and talk about, you know, the importance of knowing where you rank, the importance of moving in silence and not announcing your yeah, we could talk about that on another day. Yeah. We could talk about, you know, refusing to be delusional and thinking you can get one thing and, you know, you can't. But when it comes to like going to a steakhouse, y'all really need to stop. It's ugly women all up and through steakhouses all the time. And again, if you if you went on a random Tuesday, you would know that it's not all baddies in Capitol Grill. It's not. I'm sorry to break it to you. I know your man only takes you there on Valentine's Day. Okay? I know you only get a nice steak dinner once a year, but I promise you, those of us who just go randomly, we know that it's not all tens in there. It's not. And the woman earlier, like, when I told her I got hit on by an NFL player, and she's like, no, you didn't. Do y'all realize some of them niggas are fucking ugly? And I'm sorry to get like graphic about it, but it's like y'all be hearing shit. Y'all hear NFL player and you automatically think like one of these big buff fine motherfuckers. No, that motherfucker was fat and ugly. And I don't know like what position he played, because again, I'm not like into sports, okay? But I just knew my friend was like, girl, that's such and such. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Probably if I would have known at the time, I probably would have kind of played along. But girl, first of all, he was being weird. And then I didn't realize till after the fact. So I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. But like, the reason why that woman didn't believe it, because in her mind, I don't know what you see in your mind when I say NFL player, or when I say, you know, men with money, or, you know, resources or whatever. It's like y'all automatically think a motherfucker's gonna be fine or something. Just like you automatically think that, you know, men who take women to steakhouses, they gotta be tens. It's because you've never been, apparently you're not used to that life, because you don't realize that it's fat, ugly people that do luxury things, that go to upscale restaurants, they go to upscale, nice luxury hotels, they go on luxury vacations. It's ugly people there too, y'all. It is. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's ugly people there too. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know, because y'all be acting slow when it comes to this. So I kind of just have to say it like that, because y'all are acting like you don't get it. Y'all are acting like you don't get it. Y'all, when I tell you I'm trying to describe what he looked like. I don't know. He was ugly though. I was like, I don't think I could have faked that. I really don't think I could have even faked that. But he was a Colts player. He was just not like, I gotta be a little bit attracted. Like, I can take like, you know, sexy ugly. You know what I mean? A man don't have to be fine. I don't really care. I don't prioritize looks, but girl, he was ugly. He wasn't sexy ugly. He was ugly. But knowing me back then when I was young, I probably would have faked it for a minute. But I know who that nigga was. Girl, J. Ray says, this is the Cheesecake Factory debacle all over again. That lady was not ugly and still got drugged for filth, even though it was a skit. They are bitter over our standards as always. Exactly. Yeah, I told you, it doesn't matter what the woman looks like. No, I didn't say medium ugly. I said sexy ugly. It's the difference. I can't even think of anybody, but y'all know what I mean. Like when they're sexy, but they're ugly. I can do that. I can do sexy ugly. And to be honest with you, I've been told by my friends that I don't have great taste in men physically. So I don't know. Maybe I do like men who are kind of ugly. I mean, as long as they're attractive to me, okay. It's very hard for me to find somebody ugly. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I'm one of those people that can find beauty in everybody. So if I tell you this NFL player was ugly, that's he was. But you know, y'all know what sexy ugly is. Yes, Michael B. Jordan. That's a perfect example. He's sexy ugly. Yes. Not Rick Ross, no. Jonathan Majors, a little bit. A little bit. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so funny. No, I mean, cause I never really found Michael B. Jordan's face to be that attractive, but you know, his body's nice. So that's sexy ugly to me. We all have different standards, okay? We all have different opinions. Pony, why am I pissing you off? You think Michael B. Jordan's fine? I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Yeah, I would say Travis Hunter too. Yep. He's another example of sexy ugly. I've never, and then that photo shoot he just did right before him and Taylor got engaged, like, ew, what was that? He was better when he was trying to be like a wigger. And now, you know, he's turning into the typical white man. It's even worse. It's like, mm-mm. You was almost kind of cute when you was trying to act like a black dude. Just because, you know, I don't know, he just looked better. But now he's like looking like the scruffy, weird, like dusty kind of, like, what are they called? The little hunter kind of white dudes? Yeah, that's not cute. That's not cute. I don't think wiggers are cute either. I'm not really into them either, but he did look a little bit better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, lumberjack. That's the word I was looking for. That's what he looks like. But you know, maybe that's not a good example because some of them white men are cute. Y'all know that guy on TikTok that be chopping wood? He's cute. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Travis Kelsey. I didn't mean Travis Hunter. I meant Travis Kelsey. You know I'm bad with names, y'all. Travis Kelsey. And who the hell is Travis Hunter? I'm trying to remember who that is. Who is he again? I slightly remember, but who is Travis Hunter again? Is that the black dude? Yeah, he's not cute at all. If that's the one we talking about. Okay, Travis Hunter is the guy who married the mixed woman and they was, you know, calling her a gold digger, right? Yeah, okay. He's a football player too. Yeah, he's not cute. Yeah, yeah. I meant Travis Kelsey earlier. That's why y'all was like, no. Yeah, Travis Kelsey is sexy ugly. Yeah, it's just that's what it is. It's Travis Hunter is his mouth. It's just it's just super wide. I think that's what makes him unattractive. But anyway, yeah. So that's that. I'm tired of the coffee date debate. Okay, y'all. Like, black women, please don't think if you think about coming online announcing that you don't do coffee dates, Don't do it. Don't do it. Because it just causes this unnecessary discussion about you, your worth, the worth of black women. It's just stupid. So just show your standards in men in your actions. And they'll get the picture. They will. You don't have to say it. Like, the way you carry yourself will speak for you. There's certain men who are gonna know, oh, I can't even try that with her. You know, like, I'm gonna have to take her somewhere nice. And like I said, in my opinion, the best way to make that be known, like, do a FaceTime call for the first meeting, for the first get to know you session, I should say. The first get to know you session, do a FaceTime when he's chilling and he's at home, so you can see his surroundings, you could see his facial expressions. And I know some of y'all, you would rather do the in-person thing. You want to know how a man smells and all that. Like, I understand that. But as far as getting to know somebody, I recommend doing that on FaceTime first. You can talk about goals. I feel like it's, less distraction and just whatever you want to talk about to get to know that person. FaceTime. Specifically on video, so you can see him. And then, if he likes you enough, I promise you, he gonna be asking you on it, because that's one of the questions they ask you. They'll usually say, oh, well, what do you like to do? Where do you like to go? Kind of thing. And once he gets a feel for what you like and where you like to go, please believe that first date gonna be on point. If he likes you, he gonna be like, well, shit, I gotta take her somewhere nice. After that first, FaceTime, he's gonna know that he has to take you somewhere nice. It ain't gonna be no question after that first conversation. And if he does try to lowball you, then you can politely say no. So that's just my advice there. I don't recommend, like, making a coffee date your first time getting to know somebody. And then usually too, if after you talk and he still tries to offer you a cheap date, that usually means because men will try to impress you. That's one thing, I've learned over the years. If men really like you, if they're strongly attracted to you, they usually try to impress you on the first date. And so they'll want to take you somewhere nice if they really like you. After getting to know you, if they're like, yeah, you want to go for coffee, that means they don't really like you like that. Or it probably means that they're cheap. Now, back in the day, like, I remember, like, I had met somebody when I was, like, out of town. And we didn't have a lot of time. We didn't go for coffee, but I'm not going to say where we went. But we went to, like, just a little random place so we could meet up real quick. But he still ended up spending some money that day. So, I mean, I don't even know if that counts. But normally I wouldn't even, like, say yes to something like that. But, like, under certain circumstances, I mean, you just have to be a good judge of character. You have to know how to kind of, like, read the room, I guess. Like, I'm not saying that it's always inappropriate, if that's something you normally don't accept. I'm not saying it's always inappropriate, but it really strongly depends on the situation. That's all I'm saying. No, it definitely wasn't Popeye's girl. That's so funny. Uh-uh. Girl, I listen, not y'all big girls eat $200 worth. Who? Wait, Lee, first of all. Oh, was he trolling? Okay, let me delete him. And that's the thing, it's levels to it. Like, nobody's saying, like, just because we don't want Cheesecake Factory or or Starbucks coffee or whatever that you guys are thinking of in your head, that doesn't mean we necessarily want Fogo de Chao on the first date. Like, that doesn't necessarily, like, there's there's like in between places too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people, y'all just be so extra with it. Yeah, and Lee is up here acting like $200 is a lot of money. My God, it's crazy. I cannot. I'm not saying it's not a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money to some people, but girl, yeah, where's the creativity? The most creative date I've been on probably is a rock climbing date. Because I was with somebody who was, kind of athletic. Baby, when I tell you my big ass was climbing up the wall and my legs was hurting the next day, but that was a good ass date. That was a good date. And I couldn't look down. I could barely like get back down because once I got up there, I was like, oh my God, I can't like, I feel like I'm going to fall. So I felt like I was going to throw up and everything, but that was like a good date. Yeah, my big ass got up there too. I sure did. That was like one of the funnest dates I've ever been on. So that's what we mean by creative. And that doesn't cost a lot. So, so it's like when we say, okay, we don't want a coffee date or we don't want Applebee's or, what was the other one? Cheesecake Factory. It just means we want a thoughtful, different date. And let me tell you that if a man likes you, he's going to think of something or he'll ask you. If he's not a good planner, because, there are men like that who just don't. My ex was kind of like that. He just did not know how to plan dates. And so I planned the dates, because I was just better at planning them. So, there are men out there who don't know how to plan dates. But if they really want you to do what you want to do, they'll ask you and you can plan the date. So, yeah. Yeah, I hate TikTok. Somebody asked why I'm not on TikTok anymore. I don't like it over there. Plus, I think it obviously favors people who show their face. And obviously, I'm anonymous, so. Anyway, let's move on to Tyla and the discourse happening about Tyla. This is kind of old again. I couldn't get to it because I was busy. But apparently Tyla's EP only sold 3,700 units the first week in the US. I don't think, this does not mean she's flopping, y'all. And this is why people on TikTok, I just question your intelligence because it's all about streaming now. Like, a lot of people don't sell that many units, especially with the 4-song EP in the first week. Like, so I don't think she's flopping. Okay. Let me just get that out there. Okay. But I do think she's experiencing maybe a decline in popularity among the American Black community. Okay. And a lot of people are contributing her decline in popularity to her saying that she was colored a while back. Now, personally, I had no issue with Tyla identifying as colored. I told y'all that before. I think this girl should be able to identify however she wants. And Black Americans, I just feel like we really need to let go of this one drop rule. Okay, she is a mixed woman. And that's okay. And she should be able to identify as a mixed woman and call herself colored, the term that they use for that in South Africa. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought that conversation was that deep. Now, with that being said, I do think that the quote unquote hate that everybody was talking about Tyla getting, I think that's being exaggerated, okay? I think that she's losing steam primarily because her music isn't very good. It's definitely true that Black Americans, especially Black American women, we create the culture and a critical mass of us. If we don't support you as an artist or an entertainer or whatever, and we decide that we don't like you, you won't be successful in the US. Like, Black women, it is what it is. They need us If you're a black person, black adjacent person, mixed person, and you're catering to the black American community, if black women don't like you, you can hang it up, okay? So, again, that could definitely be why she's losing some popularity with Americans. But I think it's primarily because the music just is not hitting like that. At least for us, okay? Water was a big hit. But the follow-up to Water wasn't great, okay? The album wasn't good, in my opinion. So I think that's one of the main reasons she's losing steam. That's just my opinion on the album. I told you it didn't blow me away, okay? Now, I did listen to her EP, though. I like the EP better than the album. I don't know about y'all. I like the little 4 songs. I thought they was kind of cute. I think her songs are getting better. I like Bliss. I really like that song. Probably because Nova Wave wrote it and produced it. That's probably why. You know, Nova Wave, they them girls. And, you know, of course, she has a group of black women behind her. But, you know, so, of course, you're going to be a little bit better in that case. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, I do like that song. I like that song better than Water, you know, personally. That song, it did make it to my playlist. The name of it is Bliss. I did like that song. But, in my opinion, most of her music is unforgettable. Or, I'm sorry, forgettable. It's forgettable. So, yeah. Yeah, I think her music is mid. Yeah. Yeah, y'all say y'all like Push to Start. I don't like that song. But, you know, I don't... I feel like I don't have the popular opinion either, because everybody liked Water. That really wasn't my favorite song either. So, but yeah, I think that her music is forgettable. But regardless of that, her streams are still doing good. She still has a lot of fans. She just hasn't had another big hit like Water. And I saw, you know, a few people saying that, oh well, black people, black Americans, you're xenophobic because, you know, you don't like her because she's South African or because she's mixed and beautiful. And they say that as if we don't already support mixed women and or foreign black women or foreign mixed women. We love Tim's. Somebody mentioned her in the comments. A lot of y'all like Cardi B. A lot of y'all like Nicki Minaj. A lot of Rihanna. I mean, there are a lot of foreign mixed women and black women that black women love. And y'all know I'm always promoting various black women across the diaspora. I love Amaarae. I love me some Tim's. I don't discriminate. If the music is good, it's good, you know. And there are, again, millions of American black women who support Tyla. So I will say that it has been annoying the way some of y'all act like it's impossible not to like a mixed woman for reasons outside of how they look, or it's impossible for black women not to like a mixed woman for other reasons outside of how they look. You know what I'm saying? Now, if a black woman simply doesn't like Tyla because she identifies as colored, I don't think that's a good reason not to like someone. We should respect their term in South Africa. But completely removing nationality out of it, this would have happened to any mixed person regardless of nationality. If an American mixed person said, I'm mixed, I'm not black, the reaction would have been the same. So the issue isn't xenophobia. It's not, you know, her nationality. It's not how Tyla looks. It's that she's othering herself. You know, if she would have never othered herself, she would be just like any other artist that black women especially put on a pedestal. And so I feel like y'all are so used to American black women like just loving and embracing a mixed woman that the minute, you know, some of us are not doing that, you're like exaggerating the number of some of us who don't do that. And you're like, it's because she's a mix. It's because she's beautiful. No. How about we just don't like her? Or some of y'all don't like her because I don't care how she identifies. But maybe it's that she doesn't have, you know, the personality that American black people like. Like, it's not because she's mixed, though. It's not because she's African. And I think that's the part of the conversation that's kind of getting on my nerves. Or that was getting on my nerves. Okay. And so it's like, I see the mixed side of the internet, or the wannabe mixed side of the internet, all butthurt because some black women are refusing to support Tyla. But that comes with othering yourself as a mixed person in 2025. There will be black people who don't identify with you because you are othering yourself. And also in the United States, let's just be honest here. Ambiguous women have always benefited from their privilege in the black community by jumping in and out of blackness when convenient. And that is not as acceptable now. It's just not. So it's a new day. Like, we're not accepting that now. And see, I feel like what a lot of mixed people want, especially mixed women, you want it both ways. You want a pedestal in the black community for being mixed. And you also want to distance yourself from blackness. And while that may have worked in the past, black people aren't going for that like we did back then. In 2025, if you want to be othered, a lot of black people are going to truly other you, and they're going to move on to supporting someone they can identify with, like every other group does. And personally, I think it's fine. I think it's good that a lot more unambiguous dark-skinned women in particular are not over-identifying with mixed women like Tyla. It's about time. And I said this before, but I am all for mixed race women othering themselves out loud. I want more of them to come out and be like, I'm mixed. I'm not like you. We're different. Because you know what happens when they do that? It finally, dark-skinned women prioritize their own phenotype first, instead of what they normally do, which is living vicariously through mixed women due to their own internalized colorism and misogynoir. And it's not, it's not all of us. Some of us are still living vicariously through Tyla, right? But, yeah, I feel like when they come out and they other themselves, it kind of forces black women to be like, oh, okay, well, she's different, so I can't live vicariously through her. So I'm happy that they're doing that. I want more of them to do that. Yeah, I love it too. I ain't mad at Tyla. It's about time. And look, you guys, I don't think anything is wrong with supporting Tyla's music. But I do think many of you do cape a little too hard for mixed women like her and just other mixed entertainers in general, mixed female entertainers. Because from what I understand, I don't want to speak for the South Africans, but I heard a lot of them commenting on this back when she, came out and said that she was colored. From what I understand, and if there are any South Africans in the comments, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but to my understanding, in South Africa, some of the coloreds are very similar to how what mixed black people or mixed with black people here in the States, how they think they're better than dark-skinned people. And I hear that it's an issue in South Africa as well. And you even had some South African women saying, yeah, because, they don't even push their dark-skinned South African artists the way they push Tyla. So I'm hearing that there's some colorism issues there too. So, I don't see how unambiguous black people in South Africa, and especially black women, I don't see how you're benefiting from caping with Tyla. I understand, or caping for Tyla. I understand that, you're caping for your country. But girl, if you don't look like her, how does that really benefit you in the long? Like, I feel like they have a similar issue that the dark-skinned women here have. They probably living vicariously through her the same way black American women do with mixed women. It's the same problem across the diaspora. The Midday says, talk Ari Fletcher being a gym girly despite BBL. Yeah, I heard something about that. I gotta look into that, and I may talk about it later. But yeah, I didn't. I kind of like scanned over it, and I didn't really look into it. But just to kind of complete what I was saying, like, I don't see how that benefits you. And I did see like some of the South Africans on TikTok talking about how Black Americans don't support their own artists. Kind of like as a gotcha moment, like, oh, well, she's flopping in the US, but you guys don't even support your own artists. And I actually agree with that. But if we were to do that, especially dark-skinned women, Tyla's not going to be among the first to be supported by us. So either way, you would still have a problem. If we actually prioritize women like Coco Jones or Normani over women like Tyla and Cardi, then y'all would accuse us of being xenophobic or hating on them because they're mixed. So, I don't believe y'all actually want us to prioritize unambiguous dark-skinned American Black women. Because then if we did, it would be less visibility for you. And let's be honest, Tyla, Cardi B especially, they have a massive Black woman fan base. They have massive machines behind them as far as the industry is concerned. They have labels in the industry backing them a lot more than most unambiguous Black female artists of all complexions. But especially dark-skinned Black American female artists. And the dark-skinned women like SZA and Doechii who do get support, it's usually because they're being pushed like they're supposed to be. And we, in turn, as the audience, we support them. And if we don't support them, many times it's for the same reasons we aren't supporting Tyla. And that's simply because we're not feeling the music. It don't have shit to do with her being mixed. It don't have shit to do with her being African. We just don't like the music. And this conversation has been very disingenuous to me because y'all are having meltdowns about Black Americans and Black women not liking Tyla when she gets more support than anything. And if we were to actually remove that support, y'all would be really crying about it. Yeah, see, Novi says, as a Black South African woman, we didn't want her to be lumped into Blackness. Yeah. But yeah, I think many of you're trying to force every single Black woman to identify with Tyla because you identify with her or because of your own internalized colorism. But not every Black woman is going to like Tyla or her music or even her personality. And that's okay. It's okay if Black women don't like one mixed female artist. It's not the end of the world. We also don't like Azealia Banks. I always say her name wrong. We don't like Azealia either. Nobody's giving her excuses because she's dark-skinned. She's just unlikable. Tyla isn't likable to some Black women, and y'all need to accept that. Outside of the colored statements, I just think people find that she doesn't have a pleasant personality. And when you don't have that, some people aren't going to like you, regardless of skin tone, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of nationality. That happens to everybody, including unambiguous Black women who have an off-putting personality like Azealia Banks. Tyla, she's not going to get special treatment because she's pretty and she's mixed and she's South African. And I feel like a lot of y'all want her to get special treatment because of those things. And it's like, girl, if Black American women ain't getting that special treatment, then why do we have to give that to Tyla? And I feel like a lot of y'all don't want to admit that you want her to get special treatment because she's mixed and because she's South African, but it doesn't work that way. And to me, and this is just me, but it does feel like it's only Black women, and especially like unambiguous dark-skinned Black American women. It seems like it's only us that is kind of like forced to embrace and identify with everyone, even if they don't fully identify with us. Have y'all noticed that? Like, we're the only people who can't be tribal and exclusive and embrace our phenotype or embrace our nationality. Everyone else is allowed to do that without being called hateful, jealous, and xenophobic. And, you know, even though I support all Black women and artists of the diaspora, I definitely see the double standard there. I definitely see how Black American women are the main ones expected to show up for everyone and equalize everybody. You know, when everyone else, they can embrace their own exclusive identity and identifiers based on where they're from. It's like they can jump back and forth from that to sharing, you know, the universal identifier with us, which is race. But we can't jump back into our, you know, unique identifiers without being called jealous, bitter, hateful, and xenophobic. So that's a double standard that I don't like. And I felt like it was very important for me to say something about that. Another double standard I'm noticing is from these colorist platforms who are defending Tyla. Have y'all noticed that they defend Tyla, who is South African, but they talk shit about all of the non-American dark-skinned women who discuss colorism? Because y'all always be trying to disqualify me because my father is Caribbean. I'm always like, y'all are always like, oh, you're not full ADOS. Just your mother's ADOS. Just your mother is FBA. What you're saying is invalid. So, so it's very interesting how they're quick to invalidate any half ADOS person, half FBA dark-skinned woman who speaks on colorism because we don't have two ADOS parents. But they're fighting tooth and nail for Tyla, a woman who does not have one FBA or ADOS parent. Wasn't even born and raised in the United States. So that lets you know, and see, this is why I don't get too much into the whole diaspora stuff, because it's even Black people here in America who can identify more with Tyla than they identify with Black people here in America. Love Miss Maya says Tyla refuses to hold her own awards. Annoying. Yeah, I think some people just think she's off-putting. Novi said, I think since in South Africa, since being mixed is in its own group, Black women in my country don't live through her by race. That's why we wanted her to be mixed, colored, and peace. Right. And I feel like Black people here in America need to have that same logic. It makes the most sense, to be honest. But, you know, that's not our history here. So, you know, we don't think like that. Unfortunately, most of us don't. Yeah. You know, listen, that shit, that whole, oh, you're not ADOS, you don't have two ADOS parents, that shit goes right out the window when there's a foreign mixed woman that Black people like. Okay? That's why I stopped taking y'all, you know, FBA, ADOS people seriously. And I try not to feed too much into the diaspora warring. I will call out the double standards because at the end of the day, I'm American first. I was born and raised here. Okay, I didn't step foot on my daddy's island until I was damn near grown. So, you know, this is my culture. But because there are Black people, including Black Americans, who are just as problematic as foreigners when it comes to colorism, and will side with whoever they look closest to or want to look like or want to fuck or whatever, it don't matter the nationality. Like, that's why I don't really try to do too much diaspora warring. I don't really try to feed into that. Y'all will give a lot of these women passes when they've made it clear that they don't like you. They think they're better than you. Cardi B is the prime example of that. She was out here calling Black women's kids roaches, calling Black women roaches. Nicki said a long time ago in her song that you nappy-headed hoes need a Perminator. That's what she said to y'all in her song. So, like, y'all be siding with foreign women that don't even like you like that, and then want to come to me and be like, but you're not full ADOS. I'd be like, okay, that's crazy. Oh, girl. M Love says they thought she was gonna get the retreatment and have egg on their faces. Yeah, well, if she want the retreatment, she gonna have to play the Rihanna game, you know? Either you gonna play the game or get left behind, child. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if that was her goal, then, you know, she should have played the game better. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I feel like a lot of black women, we're finally starting to be honest about how problematic some of these mixed race women are. But look how long it took. And you know, if the South Africans are right about the coloreds, like it's only a matter of time before Tyla says something that's probably going to be anti unambiguous dark skinned woman, anti black American. Like she's going to end up saying something. And y'all are going to have egg on your faces. Again, like black women, we never learn when it comes to this. But you know, I just feel like this is all like going with the whole like turn back to conservatism, where we're going to see a lot more people outwardly separating themselves from blackness or any marginalized group in general, like trying to elevate themselves. We're going to see a lot more, you know, women being like, I'm not like you. You're black, I'm not. And I'm here for it. I'm actually here for that shit. Just like Cardi B, she came out cursing out her fat fan base. All the fat people, you should want to know, like, who your ops are. Like, I want to know who my racists and my colorists are up front. You get what I'm saying? I like covert racism. I like covert, I'm sorry, not covert. I like overt racism and overt colorism. All that covert shit is just, you know, you don't know who's for you and who's not. So I like my racism loud. I like my colorism loud. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm all for the anti-woke stuff, the anti-ism. I'm all for them conversations. I want to know all the people who separate themselves from unambiguous dark-skinned black women. I want to know. So I'm a strong proponent of allowing them to speak and be brutally honest about how they feel. If they feel superior, I want them to say it. Because then it'll be harder for dark-skinned women to live vicariously through them. And it in turn encourages us to better support women who look like us. I feel like that's the only way. Unfortunately, black women are going to learn. More of us, you know, we need to prioritize our own likeness, our own image. And if it takes black women getting their feelings hurt over and over again to learn the lesson, then so be it. I don't like that that's what it's taking or that's what it's going to take. But if that's what it takes, oh well. You know? And I didn't used to feel that way back in the day. Like, I just wanted all the colorists and the racists to shut the fuck up. But now I feel like it's kind of a good thing. I want them to scream it because that's the only way we learn. It's like black women got to get their feelings hurt. And it's the same way with black men. And I said this before, but just imagine if the manosphere never came online and start, you know, speaking about how they truly feel about black women and women in general. We would have still been delusional about men and black men. Like some of us still are, don't get me wrong. But I feel like if you're delusional about men now and black men, you're being willfully ignorant. Like there's too much information out there for you to like deny how men are at this point. Way too much information. And so, you know, I think that it's better when people are honest and when we know where they stand. You know, that's just my attitude about, like, I know that it sometimes hurts your feelings hearing people say what they say about black women, but I don't know. I'm beyond getting my feelings hurt about it, I guess. Like, I don't know if I've been doing this for so long, I'm just kind of numb to it. But like now I just be wanting to know, like, who's pro-black woman and who ain't. You know what I mean? For real. I need to know who my ops are. You know? Chanel Miller says, Chrissy's way, I heard that black men are now speaking about the colorism they face. Child, send me the videos. I need to see this because I haven't heard about that. So now they acknowledging colorism now, huh? Okay. I would love to see that. Yeah, if anybody has the video, send them to askchrissy@gmail.com. Oh, I get it. Is it the black woman's fault? Is it their mama's fault? Is that what they saying? I want to hear what they saying. Because, it's always the black woman's fault. It's always our fault why they experience colorism. So I'm just curious, like, who they blaming it on? Are they blaming it on the white man, the black woman? Like, who they blaming it on? Oh, hold on. Why my chat disappear? Oh, wait. I gotta open the chat again. Okay, there we go. Yep, I did say that was gonna happen back in the day. Is it the light skinned male takeover in the NBA or something? Is that what it is? But yeah, let these people speak, y'all. Like, I know it's hard not to react and not to respond, but you need to know who these people are. Just like some of these brands, if they're being outwardly racist, you need to know who they are so you don't support them. I feel like I would like to know who not to support rather than be in the dark about who they are and how they feel. You know what I mean? So, and another thing I'm gonna need y'all to stop doing, please stop defending these people who don't like you, because there was this one black woman who recently, like, she was under the short I did about the counter Old Navy ad to the Sydney Sweeney ad. And she was like really going hard for Sydney. And listen, I already said that I was not outraged by the Sydney Sweeney ad. I really didn't care like that, y'all. I didn't. I was just, trying to bring to y'all attention, that there are counter ads out there for you. And I feel like y'all was ignoring them. But listen, I expect white people to put their features on a pedestal, which is why I was not outraged by it, right? But if there's a counter ad featuring a black model, I'm going to support that, okay? Because I'm a black woman, right? I'm also not going to defend Sydney. Even though I don't care about that ad, okay? I'm not going to go hard for Sydney under anybody's comment section, under anybody's video. I'm not going to defend the American Eagle ad or talk about her like she's more beautiful than she is. Okay, because I guess some of you got angry under the last video because you felt like I was making fun of her looks. I was not trying to dissect her looks like that until y'all came under my comment section and saying that Giselle, the black woman in the Old Navy ad, didn't look as good as Sydney. And so y'all kind of forced me to do that because I wasn't going to say nothing. I wasn't going to just sit up here and be like, okay, Sydney, she really is kind of mid. Until y'all was like, oh, but Giselle is not as pretty. Then I had to be like, okay, y'all. Come on now. The beauty blindness is too much. And so, I had to point that out in my video to show y'all that, to really highlight and kind of put up a mirror to your internalized racism and colorism. And kind of, highlight how y'all really have drank the Kool-Aid, okay? And you think that the white supremacy has conditioned you to believe that these women automatically look better than you. And you believe it yourself as a black woman. When no, Sydney Sweeney, she is an average looking white woman in the face. She's average looking. That's all I was saying. And so me saying that, telling the truth about her average looks, that should not make you as a black woman jump into defense mode, because guess what? Sydney Sweeney is not thinking about you. She's not thinking about black women. She don't care about y'all like that. And so I'm gonna need y'all to stop defending women who really don't fuck with you like that. That includes Sydney. That includes Tyla. They don't listen. Y'all look ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I saw black women making videos about how gorgeous Sydney is when she's actually quite average. And even white people are saying that online. They're like, yeah, she's an average looking woman. And nothing's wrong with average, but I'm just saying, like, why are y'all defending her more than white people do? That's weird. And see, this is where black women lose, okay? Some of y'all are online defending Sydney Sweeney under my videos and your own videos more than you defend your own image. All in the name of attractiveness and pretty privilege or whatever. Meanwhile, Sydney Sweeney, when has she ever defended a black woman? When has she ever come out and be like, I love black women? Has she ever done that for you? Sydney is white first. To my understanding, she's pro-Trump. She don't give a fuck about black people and black women. So if you are a black woman, you look slow for getting online and actually defending her. You don't have to drag her. You don't have to be mad about the ad, but you don't have to praise her either. And that's all I'm saying. The smartest thing black women could have done is to just be quiet. But some of y'all didn't. And now you're out here, or you were out here, using her to undermine yourselves and your own image. Like that Lupita troll did on TikTok. Talking about she's not as pretty as Lupita. That's just crazy. It's counterproductive. And I just had to say something because y'all, y'all was making black women look bad. You really were. And it's embarrassing. And while I agree that, any woman, any attractive woman, any privileged woman like Sydney, I agree that she gets hated on. She still gets more love than anything because she's white. And if you are a black woman, and especially an unambiguous dark-skinned woman, you don't get trickle-down privilege or cool points for defending a white woman every time somebody says they don't find her attractive. You don't get nothing out of that, ladies. I'm sorry. I know y'all think you have to do that to not look like a hater. I promise you don't. You can just not say nothing at all. I don't see a bunch of Sydney Sweeney lookalikes going hard for black women. Then there was a couple of liberal ones going hard for, kind of going against the American Eagle ad on TikTok. Right? But as a rule, they not defending y'all like that. So you look foolish doing it for them. Just learn how to be quiet. Just learn how to not say anything at all. Yeah, Selena, listen, that's part of what influenced me to make the beauty blindness video, because that girl on TikTok, she compared Lupita and Sydney. And then that there were women under my comment section saying that the Old Navy model wasn't as pretty as Sydney. So I was like, yeah, I have to make this video because wow. So yeah, you would be surprised. Miss Felix Catta says, it's okay to stay silent, black women. I promise. It's okay. And, I heard that, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that American Eagle's already losing money. So, girl, like, I just wish black women would have stayed quiet because, like, well, maybe it's kind of a good thing that some black women spoke up about it, but I just feel like we do a little bit too much. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, American Eagle, they did originally, a lot of people were like investing in stock. So we saw the stock price rise. But I'm talking about as far as sales, to my understanding, I don't know how true it is. I just heard it on TikTok, y'all. I don't know if TikTok is right, because y'all chewed me up because I thought that the Levi's ad that had Beyonce on it, I thought that was recent. Because I was listening to TikTok. And y'all was under my video chewing me up like, Christy, that came out last year. That didn't have nothing to do with Sydney Sweeney. Girl, I didn't know. I don't follow Beyonce's every move, girl. They was talking about that shit on TikTok like it was recent. But, it's my fault. I should have done my own research. So I'll take my L on that, okay? But y'all don't have to be so aggressive in the comments, okay? I didn't know it wasn't recent. But so I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. I heard on TikTok that the company may be losing money. I don't know. But if that's true, then that shows you that, inclusivity works the best. I feel like, and I said this in my video, but I feel like the inclusive brands, like what Ralph Lauren did with the Oak Bluffs campaign, what Old Navy did with the all-inclusive jeans campaign, and they actually, because I went to their TikTok, Old Navy they aren't just being inclusive with black women and black people, they're including disabled people, they're including all of the marginalized groups, honey. Fat people, everybody. And I'm sorry, but in this day and age, I just feel like that's the smarter move when it comes to how corporations handle their business. So, I think that's a good long-term plan, okay? Companies who are still a bit more inclusive and not overtly racist in their advertising, they're going to win the long game. I don't care if the world is anti-woke and anti-DEI right now. In business, when we talk about business and marketing, it's almost always smarter to appeal to a larger demographic of people, as opposed to, blatantly alienating people or being controversial in general. That controversy shit is short-lived, is short-term. So there's a lot of brands who are going to stick to that. They're going to stick to being all-inclusive. They're going to stick to the all-inclusive marketing model because it's good for business and it's tried and true. It extends beyond race, and smart brands are going to play the long game and do what works. So, sometimes I feel like we don't have to say anything, or maybe just address it one time and leave it alone. You know what I mean? Because it'll eventually, it's not going to work. Because not only are they, excluding black people, but they excluding people in their own community. So it's, and I feel like what some white supremacists are trying to do is kind of akin to trying to close a floodgate, kind of, Some things they'll be able to reverse successfully, like firing a bunch of black women and black people from their federal jobs and all that, and their service jobs. But for the companies that rely on getting paid from multiple demographics of people, they're better off being all inclusive. And also, people have become acclimated to certain realities, okay? And some things is just, I feel like, Trump, some things he's reversing needs to be reversed or, kind of like controlled. So I don't disagree with everything he's doing. But as far as these brands being overtly exclusionary with the clothing brand, or something like that, to the point to where you're even excluding other white people who don't fit into this tight standard, that's not a good long-term business strategy, because you need as much of that demographic as possible, right? And this is marketing Chrissy talking, okay? I'll be on my marketing shit sometimes, so. But yeah, only time will tell if, what companies like American Eagle are doing will pay off for them in the long run. Or if it will help them, surpass companies that are all inclusive. I don't think they're going to start. And I've actually heard marketing specialists talk about this, and they're like, yeah, that's not going to work long term. It's not. So yeah, I don't think it's a long-term strategy. But on the other hand, you also need to be thankful when they're loud with their racism, and you need to move accordingly. If they're loud about it and they don't want you in they shit, then don't support them. Miss Felis Caddis says, Chrissy, did you hear about that racist white woman who called the black boy the N-word in the park and getting $800,000 getting charged? Does anyone else hear about that? I heard about that. Yeah, I did actually. She got, well, wait a minute. You're saying she got charged? She got charged for what? Oh, somebody sent me the Gap jeans commercial. I haven't seen it. Yeah, y'all said I heard Target got hit really bad too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of doubted the whole Target boycott, but I guess it worked. Now, what I will say is, y'all, I still feel like as far as black people boycotting, the only way it's truly gonna be super effective is if black people combine their resources and start creating their own shit. Cause you can't boycott everybody. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna boycott Amazon? Cause they was on that list, where they was telling us to boycott for that one day. They were on the list. Amazon was on there. McDonald's was on there. It was some other big, big corporations on there. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm be able to boycott Amazon, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. Amazon is too convenient. It's too convenient. And I just feel like black people, y'all ain't having the right conversations. Like, if y'all was serious about being pro-black, y'all would be talking about really creating replacements to the corporations that you're trying to boycott. You know? Yeah, McDonald's is easy. That's easy to boycott. I mean, to me anyway. But we start talking about Amazon, oh no, child. And then you can order something, it'll literally be there the next day. Like, you got Prime, they be like, free shipping overnight. And then what you want is only like $12. You be like, hell yeah. Give me my shit overnight. Hell yeah. I don't know if I can give that up, y'all. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it up. I ain't gonna hold you. So I just feel like black people ain't serious. Y'all not serious. That's why I don't take black people seriously, because y'all for real, y'all don't understand what it really is gonna take. Black men, they'll sit there and put together this whole boycott list, but you ain't talking about building no infrastructure. You ain't talking about coming together and creating nothing for the community. Y'all not serious. Mariah says, well, I'm a fatty. I like McDonald's. I like some stuff from McDonald's too. But I'm just saying it's not easy. It's not hard for me to boycott, I feel like I can do without McDonald's. But yeah, I'm not one of those people who like, I don't eat McDonald's. No, I like some stuff from McDonald's. Specifically their breakfast. I like their breakfast. Chanel says, I truly feel like, oh wait. I truly feel like black owned companies aren't going to work because I notice black people mostly purchase from and glorify popular brands that everybody else is using or like, yeah, that's true. And not to mention all of these luxury brands that y'all glorify and y'all love. Y'all know most of them don't like black people either. Y'all still gonna wear they shit. And to be honest, even though, I'm a black woman in luxury, okay, I like my little designer stuff here and there. But if it all boiled down to it and I had to boycott them, I could do that too. Because I'm more the type of person, I like luxury experiences and environments. I don't particularly love designer stuff. So that would be easy for me too. To be honest, I'm not a label whore. But I know a lot of black people who are. I know a lot of black people, if you told them to boycott Gucci, oh baby, they not doing it. They not doing it. The black people I hang around, one of my best friends, my best gay male friend, if I told him, he's a label whore, I mean down, honey. He has all the brands. If I told him, yeah, you're going to have to boycott Louis or Gucci, he'd be like, girl, what? He wouldn't be able to do it. I know he wouldn't be able to. And same thing for my mentor. She's very much like, oh baby, she loves her Louis bag. She loves her. She loves Chanel. That's one of her favorites. She loves Chanel. They couldn't boycott them. Chantel says, Chrissy, what do you think of Teacher Bay? Girl, that's another conversation we had a long time ago. Like, I feel like all of these conversations just keep resurfacing over and over and over again. Why are y'all BBL baddies, teachers, dressing like that in front of the kids? I don't trust any woman who's a teacher who dresses like that in front of children. Something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with her. I'm sorry. And listen, as a small waist, big booty girl, I understand how you can just wear the most normal shit and be sexualized. Like, it's been happening since I was 12 years old. That's when my body started developing. I was accused of fucking when I wasn't even fucking. I was accused of doing all that stuff just because I'm built the way that I am. So I understand that it's unfair, but that's just the way it is. And if you don't want to be accused of being predatory, like, why would you be dressing like that in front of your kids? And especially if you know how your body makes people react, especially like little boys. I just don't think that's normal. Just saying, says, who accused you? Well, one of the people who accused me was my 4th grade teacher. She, girl, I could have a whole conversation about this, but she tried to go to my mom and try to make it seem like that I was fucking. Baby, when I tell you my mama laid her out in that office, it was, I could do a whole story time about that. But my mama picked up on it really quickly, like what people are doing because were doing because me and my mom are built the exact same way. So yeah, a lot of people, but that was just one person. And then another person was my old beautician, or my best friend's beautician, but she had did my hair a couple times too. Yeah, that was a situation. Like, my mama almost got her fired, and she should have been fired. But yeah. That I could do a whole story time. Yeah, she was a black woman. A hating ass, old ass black woman. Yep, that was 4th grade. And it's because, part of it too is because I started my period in 4th grade. I started my period really young. So, yeah, that was a whole situation. But when I tell you my mama had my back, she wasn't having that, honey. She wasn't having it. And then the beautician was a black woman too. Old, ill-built, jealous, that I was a little young girl with a nice body. And this is when I was in middle school. And she tried to, and it was both me and my friend is built just like me. And, we were all going out or whatever, and we went to the beauty shop, one of those beauty shop days. And she gonna ask us, do y'all mama know what y'all got on? Like, she was like complaining about our outfits, and we had on the same outfit as all the other girls. But because, we were built, you know what I'm saying? She had something to say, but it wasn't her place, especially for her to ask us like that. And once again, my mama got in that ass. My mama didn't play that, honey. But yeah, back to the Teacher Bay, like, here's what I'm saying. Like, I understand the discrimination that comes with that. I understand the struggle that comes with that as a woman who's had, a BBL body that people pay for naturally since I was a little kid. So I know more than anybody how that feels. But however, because I know how that feels, there are certain things I just don't do because I don't want that kind of attention. When I had a corporate job, I never wore anything super revealing or super tight that showed my body. I would wear like longer blouses to cover at least half of my butt. So I don't see the point. Like, I never understood those kind of women who go to work to show off their shape. Like, I'm not trying to impress nobody at work. Like, I just don't understand that. Especially if I worked with kids. Like, I don't understand. Like, what you get out of that. Unless you're attention seeking. You're suffering from not having enough attention in your real life. Like, something else is going on there if you feel the need to get that kind of attention at a school around children. I just think it's inappropriate. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Nisha. Nisha says, why dim your light for other people's insecurities? Personally, I don't want that kind of attention. That's the thing. It's not about dimming my light. It's the fact that I don't want to go into work and walk past people and they're always looking at my ass. I don't like, I know that it can happen anyway, but if it's specifically happening because I'm wearing a short skirt or because I'm wearing super tight pants or because I got, pants up my booty crack, like, I don't want that kind of attention at a professional place. And I don't think it's normal to seek that kind of attention. Even if it's unfair. Like, yeah, and then just saying it's a school, especially if it's a school. Especially if I'm around children. There's no way. Like, and that's like for example, my nephew is high school age, okay? He's graduating next year. And, we're all cool with the kids and the mothers and stuff. And so we get invited to events. And one of his friends graduated and I went to his open house. It's all kind of little horny little boys there. I didn't go in there with a tight ass dress on. A tight ass maxi dress or something, or not a maxi dress, but a bodycon dress. I don't know, or a cat suit or something. Like, I'm just not gonna dress like that at that type of function. So, and is it fair? Like, could somebody skinny walk up in there and dress like that? Yeah. And get away with it? Yeah. Nobody would say anything. It's not fair. But do I want that kind of attention from kids? My nephew's friends? No. That's disgusting. That's just gross to me. I couldn't think of anything to say. Cat suit, jumpsuit, you know what I meant. Your favorite persuasion, is that you, Sarah? If so, I'm gonna make you a mod. Just saying says, Al, you saw the woman with her ass cheeks out at the kindergarten graduation. No. Yeah, freakum dress. I just personally don't like that kind of attention everywhere. Like, I dress for that when it's appropriate to dress for that. If I want attention for my ass, then I'm gonna put on something that accentuates my booty in that specific place. Because I saw some pictures of that teacher, and I don't know, was it the students filming her? And she had on these pants and she was like writing on the chalkboard, and I'm like, now she know damn well. I mean, the booty crack was cracking. Like, come on, girl. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And you know damn well. And listen, I don't even like that kind of attention at the gym. And if you wear those, a lot of women, I know they wear them little tights that scrunch up in your booty, and which I have some of those. I don't see how y'all wear them. Them motherfuckers are uncomfortable. I don't like them. Okay, there you are. I mean, I can mod your other account too. Sarah. Scrunch butt, yeah. That's, I guess. Yeah, I got some bathing suit shorts like that, thinking I wanted to be like the girl. Bitch, Instagram influenced me, okay? Thinking I got some tights like that, and I got them from Shein. I was influenced. I was influenced. I'm not gonna lie. I got them from Shein, and I got the shorts, the bathing suit shorts, the boy shorts, and I also got some, a workout set. Girl, I worked out in that motherfucker one time and never did it again. Cause I was like, oh no, my booty. I don't y'all wear them specifically to be cute for men. I don't like how those feel. Do I need to get it from somewhere else? Maybe it was Shein. Was it Shein? They were just in my ass the whole time. And y'all, I got a fat ass. My ass was eating them damn things up. I can't do that. I can't work out. I can't enjoy my workout like that. And then the shorts, I mean, I guess there's a little bit better, but girl, I don't wear those. I haven't been, I think I wore those one time at the pool. One time. Brown Hillary Banks says, I don't think it's Sheen, it's the style. Okay. Okay, so it's not just me then. Because they do make your booty look real good though. And I think that's why I got them, because I was like, watching, because I follow the workout pages to get inspiration or whatever. And the girls I was seeing, I was like, ooh, I really like the way it shapes the butt, and so I was like, let me order some of this, girl. One of the worst things, don't let Instagram overly influence you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't wear thongs either unless, again, I'm trying to be sexy for somebody. That's the only time I wear them, or when I don't want a panty line or something. But yeah, yeah, that's what it's called, the ruching, booty roosh, the booty ruching. No. Them motherfuckers are only for Instagram and getting attention online, getting attention from men in the gym. I'm convinced that's the only reason y'all wear them, because they're not comfortable. Just saying, why are you trying to see my booty? You know what? I thought about posting like a neck down picture one time, but and I'm being completely honest when I say this, the reason why I have not done that yet is because I don't want to be sexualized. I don't like a bunch of hypersexual attention. I really don't. Just saying says no. Well, you said let me see for myself. I thought you went to see my butt. I don't know. I guess when you're a person that has been over sexualized since being a fucking kid, it's like you're so used to it, you don't want that shit all the time. Just saying says, okay, maybe. Yeah, I think some of these, BBL girls, they're not used to having that attention. And so when they finally get the work done, when they finally get the BBL and they get that kind of attention, they're obsessed with it. They want it all the time. And if it's to the point to where you're trying to get attention from little kids, that's a problem. That's not normal. Just saying, are you bisexual? I'm sensing some bisexuality. Yeah, so like even when I go to the gym, I don't like some of them girls, they be there, they be trying to show out. Girl, I'm trying to get to my fucking 600 calories. I'm trying to burn my calories. I'm not trying to look cute. Like, I'm trying to get here and get out. Like, I don't know. I've never been one of those girls. Now, can I understand why they be trying to look cute in the gym? Yeah, because it be some hot men in there. I get it. I get it. But I'm not here for this. Okay. Just saying, I see you. I see everything. Shannon says, also, some people are not insecure. Teachers having XXX with students are on a high rise due to the fact it's a teacher shortage and they're hiring 21-year-olds. Does anybody know how old Teacher Bay is? How old is she? That's one of the better questions. Is she younger? Is she in her 20s? Yeah, the teacher short, that is scary, especially for y'all with young kids. Ooh, man. I always said if I ever had kids, I'm gonna have to homeschool. It'd be too much going on with these kids at school. Then they got the school shootings. Like, it's just too much. Now you got the teachers out here. First of all, people don't even want to be teachers anymore. And then when you have them, it's like, it's just too much going on. So that's what it is. They're hiring anybody. That's sad. Then I saw where they were online complaining about how they didn't want to buy the school supplies. The mothers were complaining. I was like, Lord, I'm so happy I don't have kids. Y'all be going through it. Nadi says, wait, did she recently lose a lot of weight? Oh, I don't know. Does Teacher Bay have a BBL? It looked BBL-ish to me, but I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, I have to had 4519 says she posted a video talking about the backlash in her car. It explained a lot about her mindset. See, I haven't seen that. I'll have to, if anybody has that, email it to me. AskChrissy@gmail.com. Yeah, I try not to automatically accuse people of having a BBL because I do know a lot of women in my family who, are built naturally like that. And some people could say they have a BBL when they're natural. So I try not to, go there. But sometimes you can tell. Sometimes you really can tell. Most of the time you can tell. Okay, Brown Hillary Banks says she admitted it. Okay, so she did admit that she had a BBL. Okay. Well, that's some of these girls, they get the BBLs because they want that attention. And I can kind of see how, if you've never had that kind of attention for your body, how that would go to your head for a minute and how you would just do inappropriate things. I understand. I get it. Brown Hillary Banks says she said we mad because she got a BBL. Girl. She sound like she ghetto. This is a shame. That's kind of scary when you don't know. You think it's because, oh, they just jealous of me. You know what? I used to have a friend like that, that I worked with. And she had body too. Like, I'm telling you, you would probably think, if you would look at her, you would think she had a BBL. Like, her body was T. Like, small waist, big butt, big hips. She built very, very nice. And every time we were at work, and like, we was cool. Like, we kind of connected since the first day in training. And this was years ago when I was in my 20s. And every time she would sit down, you would see like the top of the crack of her booty. And anytime somebody would try to tell her, like, your booty crack showing, and she even got called in the office for it one time. And at the time, you know how the black women in the office are, especially if you have a black supervisor. Both of our supervisors in our department were black. And of course, they bodies did not have nice bodies, okay? And so they called her in the office and they told her, and she came back to me and she was like, girl, cause they was hating. They hating on me. They hating cause they ain't got no ass. And I was like, girl, but I was like, I understand what you're saying. They probably are hating a little bit, and at the time she was my friend. I didn't realize how fucking slow she was, but I told her, I was like, but your booty crack do be showing, Like, girl, like, you need to, get that under control. And I don't have a reason to hate, girl. I got to ask just like you. You know what I mean? And so I used to try to tell her, but she didn't listen. And so, like, you do have women like that where they think everybody hating on them and they don't see themselves. You know what I mean? So Teacher Bay sounds like she's that type of chick. Yeah, they can't read the room. Right. Exactly. She was off the chain. She is one of them people that didn't understand why men wasn't interested in her. Like, needless to say, we're not friends anymore. Cause she was a trip. She was a trip. Very nice looking girl though, body wise, But Just Saying says, what makes them think like that? I wonder. Well, I mean, when you're built like that, you are used to women genuinely hating on you. So you feel like every criticism that you get is due to jealousy when sometimes it's not that. It's like one of those, it's like the women online, who talk about pretty privilege. And they're like, she doesn't like me because I'm pretty. When it could just be your personality. Like, it's not always because you're pretty. Sometimes your personality actually sucks. But because you've had so many people hating on you, because you're pretty, you don't know the difference between jealousy and, actual constructive criticism. You get what I'm saying? And like I was talking about with Tyla earlier, like, everybody is like, it's because she's the mixed and she's the pretty. That's why people don't like her. And it's like, girl, we flock to pretty mixed women in the media all the time. It's not that. People really, I'm not saying it's not that for anybody, but for the most part, like, we flock towards who we consider to be exceptionally attractive people. So, and mixed people in general. So, like, it could just be Tyla's personality is not that great. Like, that is possible. It is possible. And so, like, people need to understand, like, it's not just always your body. It's not always your attractiveness. Sometimes you really do need to fix your personality. Sometimes you need to fix your attitude. And sometimes you are being inappropriate. Sometimes it is inappropriate. It's the way you're dressing in front of those kids. It's inappropriate. It's not jealousy. It's because you're being inappropriate. You're not the first BBL shawty. You're not the first one with a BBL, sweetheart. They all up in the hospital. All the nurses, a bunch of nurses got BBLs. Like, you're not the first, Bookie. You're just being inappropriate. Pineapple Island says 3D printed BBL. What? What is that? Oh my God. Chrissy, what do you think about Serena Williams using GLP-1 to lose weight? Does Serena need that? I was a little shocked by that. She don't need that. I mean, is it just like a brand deal or is she actually taking that shit? Didn't Oprah get sick from that? Y'all better be careful with these GLP-1s. Because I heard they be messing up your digestive system and your stomach and everything. Just lose weight and eat right. I don't trust that shit. I don't trust it. I mean, if you need it, as a last resort, I'm not against it, but... Yeah, JoJo says they destroy the gallbladder. Yeah. Yeah, I saw her commercial for it too. I just was like, wow, Serena, like, I was a little shocked by that. Yeah, Michelle says Serena don't need GLP even if she's taking it. I feel it's for a check. It gotta be. And why is she? I know Serena ain't hard up for money like that. Like, what's going on, Serena? She of all people does not. First of all, she don't even need to lose weight. That's the first thing. But I hope she's not like giving into this whole, skinny trend, super skinny trend. And she's trying to lose all this weight. I hope that's not what she's doing. A Life Sucks says, I don't think she's actually taking it. I think it's just a brand deal. Maybe so. Michelle says they probably giving her a fat check. Perhaps. Perhaps. Dominique says, I think she really just wanted to be smaller after the second baby. Maybe so. I don't know. I think Serena is a great size. She's to me, she's a perfect size, but that's just me. I never wanted to be super skinny, so. Yeah, I agree, Nandy. Serena's thick body was fine. Yeah. Brown Hillary Banks says, I think she took it, but because did y'all see her? Yeah, she did look slim. She looked a lot smaller. Yep. But Oprah, she ended up in the hospital, and I think it was Gail who kind of let the cat out the bag, but then we never really heard about it again. But Oprah was, I don't know, is she still endorsing the GLP-1s? Because she was for a minute, and then Gail let the cat out the bag, and she said something about how she was in the hospital for her stomach or something. And then I was like, I think it's because of the medication. I could be totally wrong, but I think that's why she was in the hospital. I wouldn't trust that shit. Yeah, maybe Serena is taking it. What? Bubblegum Princess says the Hoteps dragged her online for slimming down, saying she displayed anti-blackness. Oh, so let me guess, she lost weight for her white husband. That's what they saying. Even though he married her when she was super thick. Please, that's funny. Yeah, many black people attacking her. Dang, I missed that. When did that happen? Was that when I was out of town? It was wow. But yeah, I really don't think it has anything to do with her husband per se. I think that she's following the trend. Everybody is going back to super skinny now. Everybody's reverting back to the super thin. It all ties into our return back to conservatism. It's all connected, guys. And I don't want y'all to fall for all the propaganda. Again, some of it, some of it I agree with, but you don't have to be super skinny. You just have to be healthy. Wait, Michelle Obama? Would you say Michelle Obama is way too skinny? Is she on one too? Or is she losing weight too? Can somebody tell me why Michelle Obama has a podcast? What's going on? Why does the former first lady have a podcast? I can't. I can't. I never really understood that. Yeah, I think Michelle need to be quiet too. Lovely said, did you hear about Orlandria saying her relationship is saving the world? Yeah, I saw that clip. I need her Alandria to stop listening to the Nicolandrians. Cause that's a little too much. That's a little too much, Alandria. I love you, girl. You and Nick are real cute, but yeah, that's too much. But on the other hand, I got to listen to that whole interview because I did hear that she also mentioned fetishization and how she kind of warned black women against that. So is it just one of those situations where people are clipping just a portion of the interview and trying to create a narrative. Because I see that happening too. Yeah, Alandria said something about how her relationship with Nick is... Basically, she was addressing how it was inspiring for a lot of black women and how she feels like she's saving the world in a way. I heard the clip. It was on Twitter or on X. Somebody sent me that. Yeah, I saw that earlier. And I was like, okay, then let's not do that. That's a little much. Not saving the world. That's a lot. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna watch the entire interview. I am. Yeah. Then I may come back and talk about it on another stream. But yeah, I just Michelle says she didn't say black women are being saved. Yeah, and so that's what I was saying. Was it a clip that was out of context? That's exactly what I thought. I was like, okay, but what's the rest of the interview? You know? Give me the whole thing, because that's what y'all just did with Ace and his little leprechaun ass. Y'all, you know what I mean? That one clip, and then he was talking about his conversation that he had with Nick in the villa. It wasn't even recent. And y'all ran with it, and y'all was saying it was recent when it wasn't. So I don't know if I can trust y'all with these clips. I just don't know. Kaner says, I listened to that full podcast. She said it was nice seeing a white man publicly fawning over a dark-skinned woman, and we don't see that today because of the gender wars and anti-interracial relationships. Did she say anything about fetishization? Because I saw that in the comments, and they were like, she did mention that. So what did she say about that? I'll have to listen to it, y'all. But yeah, Pony, that's kind of my logic too. Ola just needs to do campaigns and stay quiet. People can't wait to drag her for anything. I don't think she should stay quiet, but if it sounds like anything where people could say, oh, she's doing the whole white savior thing, she doesn't need to say that, because people, even if that's not what she's saying, or she's, doesn't feel that way, people are going to make it seem like she is, because they're anti-interracial relationships. They're anti-black women, especially dark-skinned black women, dating out. And so they're going to make it seem like she's idolizing whiteness, even if that's not what she's doing. So I don't want her to fall in that trap, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, Mariah, I've never said anything about a white savior. And see, that's what I'm saying. People, and that's how I know sometimes people do just put words in your mouth. Because I've never, came on here acting like, I believe in some white savior that white men are. I said since the beginning, and people can lie and say I didn't say this, but I said since the beginning that Alandria can do better than Nick. I've said since the beginning that men are men, including white men. And so all men should be vetted. So we've never been no pro-white savior over here. And see, a lot of pro-black hotep people, both men and women, they will try to lie and say that you're implying that or saying that simply because you tell black women to explore their options. Simply because you're not worshiping black men or not putting black men on a pedestal. They'll lie and they'll be like, oh, you think that white men are going to save you, when I've never said that ever on my platform, ever. Never implied that nor said that. Had a whole white man on here, did an interview with a white man who said out of his mouth that I don't worship white men. And he said that he did not want to be worshipped. But people act like they've never heard that interview. So yeah, a lot of people just make up shit because they don't want to see black women date anyone else other than black men. That's really what it is. And y'all don't want to admit that. Y'all don't want to admit it. But to say, I just think that's a little far-fetched, because like Alandria came on the show adamant about being with a black man. So how all of a sudden is she thinking like, oh, white men are gonna save me? Like, I just don't believe that Nicolandria is thinking like that. Now, I did hear the clip, and maybe I did hear her say that, she's giving a lot of hope basically for other black women because she's being loved out loud or whatever by this white man. But I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily got white savior from that, to be honest. Now, could it be interpreted that way and twisted to sound that way? Yeah, because people have an agenda. But do I think she genuinely meant that? No. But yeah, I am going to watch the whole thing. I'm definitely going to watch the whole interview and see what she said. But yeah, I agree. She is talking too much, and I think that a lot of people will be able to misconstrue her words, take them completely out of context because they don't want her with that white man. That's really what it is. Maisha says, I think people say that to gaslight black women when it comes to interracial relationships. Yeah. And they want to try to insult our intelligence like that's not what they're doing. Yeah, I don't understand why she said fair-skinned man either. Like, girl, Nick is not fair-skinned. He's white. Oh, yeah, that's so funny. But yeah, you know how the hoteps they'll run with it and they'll say, oh, well, interracial dating doesn't save or doesn't cure racism or whatever. And so like, I just wish she wouldn't have added that part about saving the world. Because like that's what it sounds like you're saying. It sounds like you're saying, your relationship is gonna cure racism or something. When that, even if that's not what she meant, don't say it like that. She needs some help, some PR help. She needs a publicist. Cause everybody, I'm telling you, like they hear stuff like that and they're immediately gonna make videos on it and they're immediately gonna twist her words. Mm-hmm. Right. But Shell says Ola ain't trying to heal racism. She trying to go on trips. But yeah, exactly. And that's okay too. I think she should be able to enjoy her life right now and live in the moment. Shane says she did that. She did say that her relationship is like a fairy tale or a rom-com. Aw. Yeah, I believe Nick is treating her good. I do. I do. Yep, and getting brand deals. And that's good that she's doing that. And we're not gonna downplay that either because we all know good and well, and y'all called this out in the last live stream, but if Nick was black and he was taking Nicolandria to Greece and getting modeling contracts for her, brand deals for her and all this stuff, y'all would be hyping that man up like no other. And y'all would be like, they would be using that as a talking point against me. They'll be like, oh, and see, Chrissy, look what this black man's doing for this dark-skinned black woman. And you said black men don't do this for dark-skinned black women. But now with Nick, it's like, y'all just impressed by anything. And it's just a trip. And he probably didn't even pay for that. It was probably the brand deal. And that ain't nothing. But let a black man do that for a black woman. Please. It's like, it's nothing when a white man does it, but as soon as a black man does it, y'all, that's a good black man. That's a good man, Savannah. Girl, please. Y'all are so full of shit. Y'all are so full of shit. I mean, a black man can do the bare minimum for a dark-skinned woman. He can give her a compliment. And y'all will make a video talking about, and see, Chrissy? See? And that black man likes dark-skinned women. That means that black men like dark-skinned women. See? See? But as soon as a white man says, I like black women, or he does something nice for a black woman, oh, girl, that ain't nothing. Y'all are so, like, y'all think we don't see the double standard? Y'all think we don't see that you just want black women to be with black men? Like, that's just what it is. We see you. And again, like I said earlier about the people always talking about, yeah, and because I only date millionaires and that ain't nothing. We see what y'all are getting. Y'all not getting trips to Greece from black men like that. You're not. The exceptions don't make the rule. You're not getting brand deals from being with a black man. Your black man don't even have his passport. Let's keep it real here. We see what y'all are getting. On average, most black women are not getting that. So, like, let's not sit here and act like, what Nicolandria is getting the average black woman gets. We see what y'all getting. Please. Stop lying out here. And that's what y'all do all the time with the hypergamy conversation. And that ain't nothing. You can tell y'all ain't used to nothing, cause that ain't nothing. He ain't doing that for you. I always date ballers, and it's always like you don't deserve a steak dinner because you're not a 10, because only 10s deserve luxury experiences. Only 10s deserve nice steak dinners. Meanwhile, it's a bunch of ugly bitches in the steakhouse on a random Tuesday. But see, you don't know that, again, because you only go once a year on Valentine's Day. You only go once a year on your birthday. So you don't know it's not all 10s there. You don't know that because you don't experience it like that. Keep it real. So no, you're lying about what you're getting. Most of you are not getting what Nicolandria is getting from black men, from no race of men. Let's just be honest about that. And again, if Nick was black, you would be impressed. And you would be bragging. And you would be talking about how black men do it for dark-skinned women too. Y'all are full of shit. And I have to be mean about it because y'all be on her capping. We see your baby daddies. We see what they girl. I can't. And I'm not talking about all black women. I'm talking about the average black woman. I hang around black women who actually do have great black husbands that spoil them and all that. So I'm not saying I don't know black women who don't get spoiled by black men. I do know. I know them. I'm around them. I'm friends with them. But I'm talking about on average. And we're not going to lie about that. We're not going to sit here and lie and act like just every black woman is experiencing what Nicolandria is experiencing. It's not happening. Or on average, they're experiencing that. They're not. And that's okay, but stop lying about it. Because if most of y'all was getting that, you wouldn't have as many complaints that you have about your baby daddies. And about your men. And you wouldn't always. You notice how people always say something doesn't matter and it's not that great just because they're not getting it? Oh, it ain't all that anyway. Because you're not getting that from your man. So of course you don't think it's impressive. Of course you don't think it's all that because you don't get that on a regular basis. That's why. Bonnie, if it says y'all think Nick uses blue magic. Blue magic? I have not seen blue magic in years. Do people still use that? And why did you even ask that question? I can't. And Nick does not have an afro. Y'all are going to jail. Go to jail. I can't. Yeah, I can't do it, y'all. And then all the fear mongering, it's too much fear mongering. Like it's always just, and it's like, why don't y'all have this many warnings for black men who fuck y'all over? Like if y'all were this cautious when it came to black men, oh my god, like y'all would be in such a better place in life. We wouldn't see a bunch of out of wedlock children, a lot of, marriage and fucking baby mamahood from these dusty niggas. We wouldn't see y'all complaining about how y'all man don't want to take y'all nowhere. Like, if y'all vetted the men the way y'all, black men, the way y'all vet white men. Yeah, who unalive y'all the most, by the way. Y'all always fear mongering with black. Oh, he's gonna do something bad to you. He's gonna unalive you. And I'm not saying that can't happen, but it happens with black men the most. So why y'all don't ever talk about femicide when it comes to black men when they unalive y'all the most? It's just crazy. And see, that's part of why I don't take y'all seriously, because black men, everything y'all complain that white men do to black women, black men do times 10. Fetishization, unaliving, using you for the come up. Black men do that more than anybody, and y'all don't put out these many warnings ever for black men. But when it comes to white men, it's, oh, don't be careful because he gonna do this and he gonna do that. It's like, oh my god, y'all do the same thing with men with money too. All these broke men or below average, financially below average men fucking y'all over the most, and you scared of rich men? Y'all priorities ain't in order for me. Their priorities is not right. They're not. They never have this discourse when it comes to black men, poor men, and those are the men they're dating the most. All of a sudden, they got all this experience with rich men. Girl, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. And they act like hypergamy is just dangerous and stressful. I've been in hypergamous relationships since I was what? I'll say officially. I don't want to count anything under 19. So I say officially since 19 years old. Been in hypergamous relationships. Now, have they been perfect? No, not at all. But are they like scary? No. Have they been scary? No. And they're no more scarier than relationship with a man who does not have money. And again, that's who y'all are getting fucked up by the most. Poor men. Not rich men, poor men. Not white men, black men. So that should be your focus. And until I hear more focus on that, I'm not taking it seriously when y'all complaining about, like, when y'all, all this fake concern about Nicolandria and Nick. Like, I don't take y'all seriously. I can't. It's not adding up. It's just not. I'm sorry. Why are y'all doing this? Stop trying to blackify Nick. He can be a white boy. He don't have to do Negro spirituals. He don't have to eat gumbo. Let that boy be white. That's another thing y'all be trying to do, trying to blackify these white men. No. I like my men white, white, white. I know, y'all are joking. Y'all are funny, but no. Talking about some gumbo. I know, it's sarcasm. I know. But you can tell he's been around a lot of different people, like as far as race. You can tell Nick ain't new to this. He's well traveled. You know what I'm saying? He ain't new to this. Oh my god, I did see is she really pregnant again? Or is that just a rumor? Because I did see that picture where it did look like she had a little bumpy bump. I still have to watch that Nick Cannon interview, Nick. I still have to watch that. Dang, Cardi she is just committed, ain't she? To being a baby mama to ain't shit niggas. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all priorities are wrong. Y'all be talking about the wrong shit. And it's a lot of black women, even though Cardi's not black. But it's a lot of black women in that same predicament. And y'all are focused on the evil white man. Like, girl, y'all got bigger problems. Y'all got bigger problems with the niggas y'all fucking. Mm-mm. Calm Cloud says she got more pregnancies than albums. Yeah, I saw where they said something about she said she wasn't Black American, which again, I hope y'all weren't offended by that, because who cares? She's not. She's not Black American. That's why I said I'm all for these women like coming out and being like, I'm not that, I'm not like y'all. I want them to specifically start saying, stop identifying with me. I'm not like you. I want them to say that to y'all. Because, like, y'all just be living vicariously through these women too much for me. Yeah, and she been colorist. Yeah, she says she's Afro Caribbean, and she is. What's the problem? What is the problem? Chrissy, what do you think about Nicki Minaj dissing SZA? First of all, was SZA, she didn't even really, like, was that tweet that she made on X or whatever, post that she made on X, was it directed towards Nicki or wasn't it? Because some people are saying that it was shade and some people are saying it wasn't shade. But either way, like, I think Nicki overreacted. I think her anger is misdirected. And the fact that she immediately went for SZA's looks says a lot. It says what we've been saying about Nicki. She definitely thinks she's better than the everyday black woman. She really does. She's always attacking looks, just like Cardi. Like, it's always something about somebody's looks. Yeah, I think Nicki's on drugs. It's some type of mental illness too, I think, going on too, but something ain't right. But either way, like, she been problematic. Like, I feel like, again, like I said earlier, like, I feel like it took y'all long enough. Like, she been problematic. Cardi B been problematic. Like, it took Nicki going after SZA and Cardi going after fat people, fat women, her fat fans, for y'all to say something like, and Cardi B doesn't like black women. She been not liking y'all. Why did it take for her to be fat phobic for you not to know that? Or for not to realize that? Yeah. Baby Lexi says these people been showing who they were. Exactly. They've been showed who they were. Yep. Mariah says we made excuses for all of them. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, Nicki, she, like, when she goes on these rants, when they catch her, when she's recording or she's on the, what is it called on X, whatever they do when they go live, she doesn't sound normal. Like, she sounds like she's on something. But either way, she's never been pro black woman anyway. She's never liked y'all. What? Nicki is actually pretty though. Cardi looks like Duchess from Foster Home for Imaginary. Oh my god, I don't even know what that is. But when I look at Cardi's old face, I kind of do understand the plastic surgery. You remember when I said a long time ago, like, well, in my video about feature blindness, I am not totally against plastic surgery because I can understand why some people get it. I do get it, you know. If your features aren't very proportionate or you have messed up teeth, for example, or something like that, like I can understand. And when I look at Cardi's old face, I get it. I do understand why she kind of, you know, nipped and tucked a little bit. I get it. Just like, you know, even like, you know, when I was talking about Patti LaBelle, I think she has the best nose job ever. And when I look at her before nose, her original nose, I can understand why she got a nose job. I understand. Like her nose was improportionate. It wasn't proportioned to her face. It's not that it was big, it just wasn't proportioned to her face. Like, I don't think anything's wrong with the big nose. But if it's not, you know, going with your other features that well, I can understand. And even some of the girls, you know, the Middle Eastern girls that get the dorsal hump shaved down, some of that shit be a little out of control. So I get it. I get it. Like the humps sometimes be just outrageous. So I can understand. I just, you know, I feel like a lot of y'all don't know when to stop. Or a lot of them don't know when to stop. You know, because it's like, after the first nose job, it's like, okay, cool. You still look cool. You know what I mean? You cool. But then they keep going and going and going and going. And it's like, okay, you should have stopped at the first one. Like, for example, SZA, she looked better at, like, after the first one, she looked cool. I don't think she needed nothing. But, you know, after the first one, I was like, okay, she should have stopped there. Because now it's starting to get a little Michael Jackson-ish. You know? Yeah, Level Up Love says facial harmony. Yeah, that's what I meant. Facial symmetry, facial harmony, proportionate features. Yeah. Yeah, Glorilla, hers looks bad. I don't like hers. I haven't seen it since the first time, you know, the first picture where she first got it done, so maybe it looks better now. But yeah, Summer Walker, I don't think Summer needed anything at all. Her face was just fine. She was a beautiful girl. She didn't need nothing. And neither did SZA, in my opinion. Now, SZA, I could see why she may have gotten her teeth fixed, but like, cause she had like looked like an overbite or something. I can understand that. But as far as messing with her nose and stuff, she did not need to do that at all. I don't know. Yeah, Summer, I really don't understand that at all. Like, that body dysmorphia is real because, girl, wasn't nothing wrong with that girl at all. And, you know, I can, as somebody with, you know, a nice shape who's always had a nice shape, I can understand too women wanting, you know, curvier shape or, you know, a bigger butt or, you know, a smaller waist or something. Like, I can even understand that too, but it's just when they go overboard. That's the thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like Kelly Rowland, y'all saying that she got a nose job or whatever. Hers looks great. She stopped when she needed to stop. I think y'all are saying that Beyonce got a nose job. She got a BBL. I think her BBL nose job looks great. Like, she stopped when she needed to stop. Because it's like, I feel like plastic surgery should be undetectable. Like, you should, like, because when I look at Kelly and Beyonce, it's like, if you look at their old pictures, it's like, okay, you can tell they might have got something done. But it's not so bad to where you can be like, it's like, you kind of got to wonder, like, did they? You know, it's kind of like that. It's like, I know I'm seeing something different, but it's not that much of a change. So did they really? It's like, you kind of got to question it a little bit, you know? That's what your plastic surgery should look like. It should be like, it should make people be like, she didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it should make people look or people think. Yeah, it should be tasteful and minimal. Yeah, Mariah says Beyonce's butt look real to me. I thought so too, but the girls swear up and down she got a BBL. I will say, I don't know. Has her booty ever really set up like that? And then after how many kids she got? 3 kids? I don't know. I don't know. So I can see why people say she got a little BBL, but either way, it looks good. Yeah, Princess Lioness says Beyonce had a good base. Yep, exactly. And see, that's what I'm saying. Some of y'all are saying her butt always been like that. That's how it should be when you get plastic surgery. Like people literally being like, she didn't get plastic surgery. That's all I'm saying. Kano says, Chrissy, would you ever get plastic surgery? I don't know. I feel like if I strongly wanted it, I would probably get it. Yeah. It's not a strong enough desire for me though, right now. But if it was in the future, but it would be something minimal, maybe like a breast lift or something like that, where I didn't have to wear a bra anymore. It would be something like that. Like it would never be anything drastic. Oh, M3 says she got a lift. As someone who had one, I can tell. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, Pony says it needs to be debatable. Yeah, heavy on debatable. Exactly. Now they calling Beyonce BBL. Oh, the internet is just disrespectful. The internet is mean. Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm scared to go under the knife though. I'm scared of anesthesia. I'm scared of all that shit. Like that's why I have to me it's just not worth it cuz girl, I don't want to have surgery unless I absolutely need to have it. You know. Um but if I guess if my desire was ever strong enough, I would. You know. But at the same time, like, I say that it's not that deep, but if I was somebody who I hated my body, I hated my face or something like that, that's why I said I can kind of understand, like, if people feel that way, like, I get it. That's why I'm not anti-plastic surgery, because I understand. I understand. But me personally, I don't feel like it's that deep, but some of these people, I ain't gonna lie, if I look like that, I'll probably go ahead and lay on the table. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I understand. Have y'all need to look up dorsal hump surgeries or dorsal hump nose jobs. Some of those humps are bad. So, like, in that situation, I understand. I do. I'm just being honest. Princess Lioness says, "Do you think Meg got a nose job?" I've heard that Meg had a nose job. I don't see it. Again, that's one of them things where if she did, it looks good because I can't tell. Yeah, Miss Mac says we need ethnic nose jobs. Yeah, for sure. Again though, I think that Patti LaBelle has one of the best ethnic nose jobs. She has one of the best ones. And I think some of y'all request, some of the black women request their nose to look like Nene Leakes, she probably requests. I think a lot of black women go in requesting that their nostrils be smaller, but then they end up with that pinched look or the Whoville nose where it's like upturned. But it's like the only thing they really need to do if they want a smaller nose is just get the smaller version of their natural nose. If it's not fitting your face well, if you feel like it's too wide or whatever for your face, then just get a smaller version of the same nose. I feel like that's what Patti LaBelle did for the most part. I don't know. Y'all just need to leave y'all faces alone. Miss Max says they want a white nose. Clearly. And it's like, black women, you never gonna look good with a white nose. Like, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I've been on here with y'all for 3 hours. This is the longest live stream I've done in a long time. In a very long time. But this was really fun. I still want to do a Chrissy After Dark at some point. This was kind of like a Chrissy After Dark for real. Is Megan's skin lighter too, girl? I don't know. Possibly. Tony Braxton got a nose job? Now that you say that, I don't know. I kind of see it a little bit. Yeah, Tiana Taylor, her nose job looks good. Yep. Do y'all got to go to work tomorrow? Because that's the reason why I went live today. Because I was like, well, the girls probably don't have work tomorrow. So I don't want to keep nobody up. Y'all said no work. Okay, so I picked the right day because I was gonna go live tomorrow, but I'm glad I didn't. Okay. Yeah, child, I got invited to a barbecue today and tomorrow. I didn't go today because I did not feel like doing anything. But I'm definitely gonna get me some barbecue tomorrow, okay? Has anybody here been affected by the 300,000 women that lost jobs, black women that lost their jobs? I'm just curious. Kaner says y'all still going to barbecues. Yeah, girl, my family ain't ghetto. Shoot, I can go to my barbecues. We don't be having fights and shit at the function, okay? No, usually my family, I go like a real small, intimate, gatherings, okay? And then my mentor also likes to host a lot, so, and she kind of bougie, so her barbecues don't be ghetto at all, honey. In fact, she be doing a little too much sometimes. I'll be like, girl, because sometimes she like be trying to cater stuff and they don't be cooking it good. I'm like, girl, if you don't start cooking your own food, I'll help you. I'll help you because, girl, them people don't be knowing how to cook sometimes. I feel like it ain't never going to be as good if it ain't homemade. I need all the people to bring something to the function. All the black people bring something in the foil pans that you cooked at home. That's the good food, okay? We don't need nothing catered unless it's catered from a black person. I hate to be discriminatory, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm sorry. Even some of the white people who be trying to cook soul food, it just don't be right sometimes. Most of the time, it don't be right. No, I don't think Serena is bleaching. I never thought she was bleaching her skin. Maybe I'm in denial. I never thought she was bleaching her skin. KJ said with the flimsy foil pans. Exactly. Exactly. That's when the food is good. Right. Mariah says just the wrong foundation color. Exactly. I think Serena doesn't have a good stylist, a good makeup artist, or when she be trying to do her own makeup sometimes, she just done a wrong foundation shade, and then some of the pictures she takes, then you add the flash on that, and it just looks bad. But I don't think she's actually bleaching. Yeah. Our truth says now they be over seasoned. I'll give you that. Some black people do over season their food. Sometimes they do. Yeah. But for the most part, you're going to get better food from them than some of the people that be trying to, and even, you know, I don't know. It's just where I live too. Cause I know soul food in Chicago is pretty good. Soul food down in Atlanta, from what I remember, is pretty good. Even in places like St. Louis, like in the Midwest, like where I live, because I'm in Indy, we don't have a bunch of good catering places, good soul food places. So when my mentor be trying to cater stuff, I'd be like, You know what I'm saying? It's only certain people, certain places where you can actually do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Chicago food is bussin'. That's the part of the Midwest that actually got people that can cook. A lot of restaurants, but here in Indy, girl, it's a handful, maybe not even that, of people that really know what they doing. Selena says, I had soul food in Philly. It was more upscale and I enjoyed it. What place did you go to? Because yeah, that's why I said the South, Atlanta. The last time I went to Dallas, it's been quite a few years, but their food was good down there too, I remember. So I feel like the South is really good at that. But here up in the Midwest, girl, I'm not saying everybody up here, but it ain't the same. It ain't the same. But anyway, I'm leaving y'all. Let me know what topics y'all want me to cover that I didn't get to tonight, and we'll see about it in future videos. And somebody in the community tab, on the community tab post, was like, oh, well, Chrissy is feeding us. She doing all these lives and she about to be gone for 4 weeks. That, I felt so attacked by that. Because you're right. I do that a lot. Like, I just feed y'all. I'll go live, give y'all all these videos, and then I'll be ghosting y'all. But it's not on purpose. I don't do that on purpose. Life happens, shit comes up. So I'm trying to be consistent and, and get something out to y'all every week. If I don't go live every week, just some kind of content out every week. But it always don't happen like that. It don't always happen like that. But I try. I really do try really hard. But y'all need to stop being mean and aggressive when life happens, when shit comes up. Thank you. Mariah says, don't worry, Chrissy, enjoy your life. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, yeah. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, and subscribe. Catch up with you next time. Love you. Bye.